Lakad mo to! Lakad mo to!
Normally.
What the f just happened? What the f just happened? Holy moly!
Sickum!
Вот это взрыв! Вот это взрыв! What the f just happened? What the f just happened?
Alright, good evening ladies and gentlemen and welcome back. We are here for our second best of 3 of the night between Fnatic and MG.Trust Gaming. It is MLP Dota and Pog. I'm getting a bit upset with our host now. It's the second time he's called me My Little Pony today. And
like I said, if you keep bringing it up, it's gonna keep happening. It's like the schoolyard bullying when we were like 10 to 12 years old. Luke never got out of that mental stage. You gotta remember that. He actually hasn't grown up. He's still a child when it comes down to it. But we're here for Fnatic. We're here for
Normally.
They are going to go head to head, and I'm keen to see this. I think this is going to be a closer series.
I'd say so. I mean, the drafts look pretty intriguing. Fnatic, they went with the global strat, right? They've got the Zeus, they've got the Spectre, they've got the clock, they've got everything to set up. Motivate, I mean, is this really a mid-Tide Hunter we're looking at?
Oh no, so as soon as the Tide Hunter came out, and I think it might have been Fluke once more mentioned it.
Of course it was.
I can't see a Tide Hunter versus like Zeus. Is always his laning stage early is he wants to AFK farm, he wants to just push out the wave. Tide Hunter can't harass him, so it's just a free lane. If Zeus actually ever plays against a melee core like that, and also the thing with Tide is the Kraken Shell, the physical damage reduction. Zeus doesn't care, he's just gonna bolt your head in. I'm glad to see they have put the Quap mid, like that's an actual matchup at least. Because if you had done that, given Fearless the Tide Hunter, I feel like they would have instantly lost the lane.
I would agree with you on that, but luckily that is not the case. Fearless on the Quap, be in the lane up against the Zeus. Because it's not going to be the easiest of games for this Dire side, but I do love the draft. It's a lot of team fight going on here, a lot of kill potential from both sides really. Just a matter of whether they can slow down and control Raven on the Spectre. And that's the big thing, right? Raven's the new addition to the team for Fnatic. In my opinion, and I've been saying this for a long time, he's arguably the best position 1 right now in SEA. And,
well, I mean, it just goes to show if he wins this tournament, I know this isn't really cool, but the last time he played, he was with GeekFam, like we mentioned, and he 3-0'd Fnatic. Like, he absolutely cleaned up house, and he looked pretty much perfect. So I'm looking to see Raven continue that form, because like you said, he might just be the best carry in Southeast Asia. And you have to prove it back-to-back tournament. He has got Spectre though, and I know I've been checking his Dota buff. He's been practicing in pubs, so.
Well, my question is, who's not playing Spectre in pubs right now? Doesn't seem to die in the late game.
Yeah, self-respecting people.
Right.
He says, talking up Arkwood in last game.
Alright. We'll see that mid lane Moon going to be up against Fearless on the Queen of Pain. Down at the bot lane, Jabs and Raven up against the trial lane that's being run of this Trust side. And I do wonder whether they'll keep this trial lane going. But I guess when you've got an off lane Tide, rather a safe lane Tide this game, you don't really need to have a support to be there to just protect this Tide Hunter.
Yeah, definitely true. The other side of it is there's obviously not great amount of stun, not great amount of lockdown coming from Fnatic's top lane. The Phoenix, quite a greedy but you can see what they're already doing. They're pulling waves, they're going to start annoying Massaros under this lane, because Tide Hunter early game, until he gets a couple levels in Kraken Shell, he actually takes damage. He actually gets quite easily harassed on a lane. And you're seeing it happen already.
Very, very low. He'll get the comms off, but that'll be first blood. Doombill was able to get the final auto attack in, and Jabs maybe just going a bit out of position there, and now Raven is going to have to suffer while he is out of the lane.
Yeah, and this is almost a double lane for Raven as well, so it's actually going to push the wrong way. This is really annoying for Fnatic right now. Because Raven just wants to AFK farm. We talked about Spectre being a late game hero. He is decent in the lane, but you don't want to have to rely on dispersion. You don't have to rely on spamming that Spectral Dagger to get the range creep, which I feel like he has to do.
Might be the case. Look at that top lane for Rev. Who's also subbed in for Fnatic right now. He's going to be there up against Masaros, and it's one of those lanes where they're just going to trade farm. You'd make the argument the Tide should have a slight advantage, perhaps up until those levels are up on the Beastmaster, but now they'll be sitting back and just farming up. Of course, back down to that bot lane. DJ gets tossed in by Q, and now the Scatterblast is there from Boonbell, but they will not have the follow-up. Well, it's a tri-lane versus tri-lane situation now between these two.
Yeah, and honestly, MG.Trust tri-lane is way stronger. They've got 2 guaranteed stuns in the Cookie and the Toss. The Avalanche as well is less guaranteed, but still quite solid. And then you've got Bash. If you get lucky in this lane, Jackie could just get free kills here. Where Raven, his only damage output right now is a Spectral Dagger and just whacking down a hero. He doesn't really want to be a part of this tri-lane.
He's getting rather low on that mid lane on the Quap, which is somewhat to be expected when you are playing up against the Zeus.
Yeah, definitely. I do like what he's doing. Like, he's keeping a decent amount of farm. He's trading pretty much even with the Zeus, despite the Zeus going 2 levels in the arc line, making this lane incredibly hard to deal with.
Bot lane, some kills were coming out. Yeah, we do see Jabs. He's trying to get a small camp right now, but Q does get the toss off into Boonbell with the Scatter Blast. Now Jackie's going to try and get some lucky bashes off. There's the Cookie coming out from Boonbell, and Raven is in trouble, but looks like he might actually make his way out. So instead, they'll go after DJ, but of course, he will just be able to Icarus dive out of there. Raven does salve up, and he is okay.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be an awkward bot lane. I think Raven just has to come out of it not dying too many times. He's going to get his levels. Obviously, you can see already 9 and 2 on the last hits. It's pretty sad, comparative to the 19 and 7 boys.
Doesn't seem much sadder than that. Jabs and Q just going to run into each other on the Clockwork and Tiny. Of course,
Mid lane.
After those power runes, but Moon is in trouble. He still has the Shadow Strike on him. Feel very far up. Does eat a very fire, but it's a lot of damage.
It's 2 ticks. I believe he'll have 4 health.
Oh,
7 health.
7.
Okay. Still Moon. He used the last second Arc Lightning. Oh.
Boonbell goes down to the bot lane trying to go after DJ, and DJ is just going to make a run for it. Q unable to get any form of a toss off. He's probably not wanting to toss Jackie into the tier 1 tower. Probably better to just avoid that altogether.
Yeah, especially no.
Never mind, Q. DJ, but not quite yet. He needs one more attack and he will be able to get it off. Q, a great little rotation there just to double check the behind of the tier 1 tower, and it turns out he was right. Phoenix was around.
Yeah, a nice little heads up play. He's going to go towards the mid lane as well. I think he just got spotted out by a ward though. So I don't see Moon getting caught to this, especially when he walks under tower and takes auto attacks.
Yeah, not happening.
Yeah, well, we won't really talk about it much, but there is a ward really defensive from Fnatic inside their own jungle to see this rotation coming through from Q.
It's going to be important, right? Because you've got the Zeus who's so susceptible.
DJ though?
Could break the gap, but DJ is going to be in danger. Avalanche toss will be out, and that'll be the second death for DJ now on the Phoenix. It's once again to Q on this Tiny, who just continues to be at the right place at the exact right time.
Yeah. Just to touch on what you said, Zeus is so far going to be their entire mid-game. Obviously, QO mentioned it, Raven playing Spectre. One of those heroes that can hit R, he's in the fight. But you need everyone else to be actually ready to fight, and I think that's where Zeus comes in. I think that's where they're going to put so much reliance on Moon to have a good early game.
It'll be very, very important.
Oh, and this is what I hate about the mid-game, right? Like, you can see 6 minutes in, there's an action rune coming. Do we play potluck and who wins the lane from getting the action rune?
Nope. Moon does end up picking up the pace, but bot lane Jabs is going to get bashed up by Jackie. He'll make a run for a little battery assault. Now DJ going to get Icarus dive in, going after Boonbell.
No Cookie?
No Cookie. Boonbell is very low with the Fire Spirits, and Raven does manage to take the kill. In fact, you have Moon there with the haste rune anyway, just in case. He wasn't really able to follow up at all onto the Void anyway, so I try to chip down this tier 1 tower a bit.
Yeah, definitely. And further on the Moon, have you had a look at it? 3-0-2. He has no level involved.
Wow. So that's a new one. Q. Yeah, Moon is in trouble. Sonic Wave is going to be out from the quad. Fearless will be able to take a kill for himself now. And it's very unusual to see that. No points in Lightning Ball.
I have been seeing this more often than not nowadays. I'm not going to win the lane. I can't really harass. I'll out-harass my counter opponent. Obviously, Fearless playing the Queen of Pain is a great harasser with Dagger. So why not just prep for farming? That level 7, max out the farm, push out lanes as much as I can. I still am a bit on the fence on it though. I'm still used to the maxing bolt, destroying the lane, and then farming from it. But I quite like the Arc Lightning build.
Yeah.
It's a throwback to 2015, where Bloodstone first. That was the build.
All day. I like to call it Boom Bell. Yeah, Thunder God's Wrath is in. Boom Bell cannot sustain through that much damage. Moon will take it on the Zeus, and that's always a nice little positive, right, for the side of Fnatic, is if you get close to getting a kill, Moon should be able to just clean it up quite easily with his ulti.
Yeah, definitely. It has been nerfed recently. 30 seconds more on the cooldown. So they have to be a bit more sparing with the use of Thunder God's Wrath. But with the Raven, Spectre, the cooldown's 180 seconds on hold. So which one do you really want to be using in this fight?
Very true. Of course, Jackie still just farming very, very well in the Void. I do kind of wonder what item build this Void goes for this game. The item builds do tend to vary quite a bit between different players, but what are you thinking this game around up against the Spectre?
Well, obviously, I do have the benefit. I can see he is building the Midas, but Midas is a good build. He needs to get levels, he needs to start tanking, and he needs to set the tempo faster than Raven is ready for. So you've got to be fighting less than 3 minutes per fight. You need to make sure the Haunt's not up. You need to be finding good kills with Chrono. Can't be happy.
Avalanche toss on jabs. Spectral Dagger going to be up. That'll be it. It was just a bit of a warning shot out from Q.
Yeah, nothing really much happening. But yeah, with Jackie just putting a Manta plus one item and then eventually going to like that BKB axe.
Jackie, he's going to be able to get whatever he wants at this rate. Speaking of farm, you look at the top two in terms of last hits right now. It is the Tide and the Quap. So the side of MG.Trust so far are having a very, very good game, holding that slight net worth lead up against Fnatic for now. Fearless is also going to make a bit of a rotation down to the bot lane. See if we can pick up a kill here. He does have the Sonic Wave back up. Not to mention, of course, Jackie does also have Chrono.
Yeah, I think DJ's going to die. The only way he gets out here, a lot of people see a Phoenix. He's probably going to use it. Oh, doesn't matter.
Jackie has the Chrono, but they'll use the cookie, and it lands just in time.
Masteros on the top lane as well.
Danger, Ravage is committed. Q's going to come in with an avalanche, but is that going to be enough for it? He wants to keep going. He'll commit the roar on the easier target, and Raven actually going to haunt in. Gets one. Now after Masteros, and it looks like Masteros is just dead. It's the strength of the global strat. They just be anywhere at any time.
Yeah, it's so hard to combat that as well. Like, you don't want to commit your whole team. Bombell, I believe, TP'd the mid lane, start getting farms, start getting levels there, so he can't come in. And all of a sudden, you want to commit the Queen of Pain TP, you want to commit the Void TP on Jackie, or do you want to just trade towers? So you're going to go for trade.
There. This poor old DJ trying to get that TP off, and they did something nice afterwards. DJ dying for the greater good. Q tried to help out, but ended up working against him forever, not hesitating whatsoever. Didn't think about the raw target, just gets it right onto that Tiny. At least Jackie, on the bright side, is very close to that Midas build-up he was talking about.
Yeah, he can AFK farm this game. You can see he's gone 4 levels time lock. He knows he's not really going to die unless he makes an egregious error. So you might as well farm really aggressively, start to push out these lanes. You're going to need to do a lot of work. The Queen of Pain is going to get locked down quite a bit in the game. So I'd like to see Jackie start to take over around the 20.
Be important.
Can I see that? He's going to TP top. He might look towards the Chrono. They've got the Mortimer's Kisses, so they're going to smoke up.
Bit of shot. See what they can do. Moon not going to be around the area to help out his team if they do get caught. And Raven would be a primary target for this smoke.
That's a shame. They were about 5 seconds too late on that rotation. They would have found Raven, and Raven definitely dies right now. He has no boots.
They're still chasing towards the high ground. They do ping out Raven.
Here it is.
They have made make the jump with the chrono, and now the Mortimer's Kisses are going to aim, but Raven is trying to make a run. It will be no good. Boombell will be able to secure the kill on the Snapfire. Still Jackie taking quite a bit of damage on his way out, but they are still trying to go after jabs on the clockwork. Making a bit of space, he'll go for the hookshot onto Boombell, but now the cookie's there onto Masseros, and the Thunder God's Wrath will be enough. Still Fearless does get the Sonic Wave out in time. And that'll pretty much be it. Fnatic unable to find anyone else to go after. They'll lose 2-1 in this fight.
They did get a ward, but it's still not a great fight. Heads up play from Jackie though, realizing his Mortimer's Kisses, like the Snapfire, obviously can help win with the kill. They do trade their life for Raven, but I think that's worth it. Every time you take that pick.
Absolutely. That's your highest priority target right now, and probably will be for the rest of the game. Apart from maybe Moon the Zeus, who, you know, obviously you get rid of him for DPS reasons still.
Under attack.
Things are going okay right now for MG.Trust. They hold a 1k net worth lead and a 1 kill advantage. Currently, in terms of net worth, Jackie is just sitting at the top. It's the last person you want at the top if you are the side of Fnatic. But Raven does have a bit of catching up to do. In fact, you look at Raven's net worth at the moment. It is at 4.5k, so the Basis Void is a full 1k ahead.
Yeah, I think this is fine though. Spectre obviously is not a great early game farmer. Picks it up later, becomes a fighting nuisance once you get a few items. So I think this gap of 1200 is completely fine for the Spectre in a losing matchup.
Well, Spectral Dagger for the cookie attempt and does get to the low ground, but Raven, of course, can just run down to the low ground, and Boombell is trying his best to survive. Who's actually going to come in with a great avalanche shot into the toss, down the hook shot. Jabs is there to try and help Jackie. He's going to get pushed by the toss, and now the roar comes in. And Forev, he does hold down Jackie, and he does end up dying. Masseros, he tries for the Ravage, but it is going to be no good, it seems like. In fact, maybe it is Q. He comes back in, gets one, but they will lose the tide. And that is a 3-for-1 trade. 2 cores going down for MG.Trust. It's all at the cost of really just the clockwork.
Yeah, heads up play from Raven there. Not many people would have recognized it, but he blind through the dagger and hit Bombell.
Ooh.
Instantly haunts to kill the Mortimer's Kisses. If Bombell gets that Mortimer's Kisses, for even 3 or 4 globs, that fight's completely different.
Definitely a big deal. Watch out for that if you are the Snapfire.
Under attack.
So, Forev still looking at his item build anyway. He's still going for that standard kind of Helm of the Dominator into the Necro book, which, I mean, I guess something's just never changed regardless of, you know, the balance updates that do occur.
Yeah.
Is this just the way to play it? Like, you don't really want any mobility or anything for the Raw. You go into the standard. I'm going to have 50 creeps run at you, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Well, like I said with like the last game, where the new Necro books kind of favor attacking heroes. Forev playing this Beastmaster is the perfect example of that. You have that attack speed from Inner Beast. As soon as you raw someone, those Necro books run on top of you with that extra movement speed. So I think, honestly, Necro book is better for Beastmaster as well. Of course, you have less pushing power. You have a terrible pushing lineup with Spectre and Zeus. But you just want to commit to win these fights, and I think Necro book does that.
Fearless is enough to spot out Forever, or maybe Forever gets a bonus. He gets the stun and the roar off, but he's all alone at the moment. The Zeus does have ulti. Fearless will be able to blink out of there. Masseros gonna come in to try and help out. They really want the life of Forever.
That's sick. Centaur stomp on Bombell's one of his kisses.
Oh, that's fantastic. Forever just walks his way out. And Boombell not gonna be very happy about that.
Jab wants blood here. I think he's going to look for a hook. He might find Bombell as well.
Boombell does get hooked up with the cross. Boombell, do you have a cookie? He does, but he can't get the animation off, and it doesn't matter anyway. They had the Thunder God's Wrath, but Jabs will die in the process, and Boombell, he doesn't look too sad after all. He's alright.
Yeah, the difference is obviously you're trading gold onto the Zeus, and some people will live with that, because Zeus right now, if he gets jumped on, he's only got a Yule Scepter. I believe we're going to see a Boots of Travel coming in on the Courier as well. He needs items, he needs mobility, and he needs to start building towards the Ag so the Spectre Haunt can solo kill people.
Raven goes straight into the Yasha and what looks to be the Manta straight after that. Standard stuff for the Spectre.
Yeah, so much better than the Radiance build.
I'd say so, yeah.
Like, I like the Radiance, but I feel like stats is just too good on Spectre. He uses them too well with his illusions. Obviously, once you get that Manta, it's very hard to take down all those Dispo.
Because once you're stuck in the Chrono as well as the Spectre, that's all you want. You just want some stats. Fearless, Boombill, and Q. They're gonna smoke up. They've got Masteros in the mid lane as the Tide. He's just trying to bait the side of Fnatic at the moment, but they're nowhere near.
And quite a curious build for Masteros. He's actually gone 4 staff and then heading back towards the pipe. I don't mind this just because of the amount of AoE damage that's going to come out. Haunt obviously will stop the blink.
Well, they're running into him.
Courier has been killed.
Courier.
That should notify them. I think Jabs is going to live with that, losing his Courier. Unless Jabs wants blood, like...
Pops the smoke of Q. There's the avalanche, rather just the toss straight into Masteros, and they're going to go for the easy clockwork kill. They say easy, Jabs is still alive. He does eventually go down. It's really all they could afford to go after. That was the only person showing.
Yeah, definitely. Like, yeah, you get a pick with the smoke gank, but it's a 2k net worth clockwork. Jabs is just absolutely playing POS 7 Dota right now.
That's how it has to be done.
Yeah, it's sad to watch, but sometimes you got to appreciate the support players that are willing to sacrifice like this, and Fnatic are a great team for that. They have so much trust with each other. Outside of Raven, the 4 of them have been playing for quite some time.
Under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
An illusion. Moon wasting a few souls out from the Trust boys. They are still pretty set on trying to go after that mid-tier 1 tower, I must say. They really haven't left that area. Can they actually get it done? I mean, just with this Arc Lightning spam, it seems like their creeps just can't get anywhere near. But now with Jackie there, he'll just frontline with Masteros.
They got to be careful though, because if they even take about half their health pool and all of a sudden a Haunt comes out for it against the Roar, you could actually lose this fight quickly. And I see Jabs hook.
There's the Roar. It's going to be on to Q. It's the Chrono being thrown out by Jackie, but he's trying to focus down for Rev. Now the Ravage comes out from Masteros. Is it going to be enough though? They got Jabs. They'll get Rev on the Beastmaster, and that'll be it. After that tier 1 tower, why not take a few kills and just get out of there?
Yeah. Raven didn't even commit the Haunt. He didn't want to bar it. He's like, nah, we've lost this one. I'm out.
You guys are in your own.
And he's heading towards that Manta. Like you said, he's only 1,000 gold away. He is quite close. It'll be interesting to see when he gets a tier 2 item.
Radiant's
if there are
middle
any
tower
decent
is
ones.
under attack.
There's a Vampire Fangs for him. That's about it.
Yeah, not the best. But it's a Fearless. Sunray's going to be outfield. He blinked into Raven. He's just going to die. DJ does lose his life to Q, but I don't think you mind that. You've got a support for a core trade.
Yeah, even if I'm Phoenix in DJ, you definitely take that trade. Unlucky from Fearless. Like, that is just a normal rotation. It's a normal farming pattern. And all of a sudden, you just see Ravens there.
Echo Saber on the Quap. Did I see that right?
Oh, so...
Oh, he's just splitting it up.
Yeah, it's not a glitch, but a lot of people realize like you can build the Echo Saber through stats if you're building BKB and boost though.
Getting jumped. Nice toss out from Q with the cookie to follow on from Moon, and he survived. He's doing the cogs. Moon is still making a run for it, and he is going to make it out. Masteros. Oh, what a place to be. He can see the Zeus. He just can't reach.
What? Then let's get more. Oh, Fearless won't die though.
Masteros, he's still on the run. Raven is on the chase. DJ right behind him, and Moon, of all people, will take the kill and we'll get a mega kill streak. Oh, and that is just disgusting from Fnatic.
Yeah, I'm so glad no one can see me. That hurts to see. The Zeus was dead. He just gets out. It was even a failed TP. He TP'd home to get insta-stun. Essence Ring comes off. He just walks away. DJ keeps him alive, and that's a big turnaround. And that could set the mid-game in motion, honestly.
Certainly could. There's a big kill attempt to go for, and there's a lot of bodies lost here. Will motivate Trust, but they'll get back to the farming game. You've still got Jackie, who is at the top of the net worth board, on the Faces point, so he's kind of your saving grace right now, that you can rely on him in those later stages of the game. Though, as I say that, Forev does now have a blinker on that Beastmaster, so suddenly it's not going to be quite as easy to avoid that roar from this Beastmaster.
Yeah, definitely. That's going to be a huge window as well, because as you've seen, Jackie just built the BKB. So if Jackie can get the BKB off before roar, he will live every time. Spectre doesn't have enough damage yet. Moon is 70 gold away from Axe. So if that Raw comes off pre-BKB, he
Radiant
probably will
are
die
scanning.
before he gets to use a single spell.
It's rough. It's going to be a smoke out. MG.Trust.
Oh, Jabs is going to eat the smoke again. He's so loyal. Like, he doesn't care. He's just going to die. He's not even going to move.
It's space. There's an Aghanim Scepter actually coming out on Moon now, so the way they see it, Jabs dies, we get a new item up, and we can take the next team fight. You look at MG.Trust now, they go after the Roshan play, but are they going to realize we're fight a Fnatic?
I don't know if they can actually do anything. They got the bird in there, so they do know. They have the buyback on Jabs, so he can TP in, and they're just going to bail out with a buyback. Okay.
Azeroth just picks up the pipe. Could try to take this team fight around the Roche pit. The only problem being they don't really realize the axe is up yet. It has not been revealed by Moon.
I think they just dewatered here, so they would have seen it on Moon, I
Dire's
believe.
bottom tower is under
So
attack.
we might know. Either way, you can't avoid the fight just because he has axe. Like, if it's going to come to you, it's going to come to you. You have to live with that. And you're going to see Jabs is going to look for the hook on Bombell. I believe he's the pick to take right now. Obviously, we can see Foreb's on the sideline, so he can't really start this fight.
Well, Jabs gets chronoed up by Jackie. You know, you might be happy with your Jabs about this. Chrono's expended, and they're going to rush the Roshan pit.
MG.Trust is going to die in the Roche pit.
He is. Roar is going to be there with the Sun Ray, and the Thunder God's Wrath is going to be enough. So, Jackie, how do you fight this now without a Chrono?
Without a Ravage, too.
Without a Ravage.
So the Roshan was about half health when that fight started. That is, I think, why MG.Trust walked in there. I was obviously watching Jabs die once more.
Yep.
But heads up play from Fnatic. Jabs baiting out the Chrono. And they got a free Roche for it, really. The Jabs is worth next to nothing these days.
It's literal space being made here from Jabs. I really don't think he'd care if he died another 50 times.
Well, each time he dies, he's losing 83 gold. It's too
Right.
great.
83 gold.
I had to check just to see how low it actually was.
What a number.
Oh, man. He's only dead for 32. Obviously, that was a bit longer with that dieback, but from here on out, Jabs is happy dying over and over again. And you can tell he's 1-8.
Yeah.
The rest of his team's died 1-1-1 on the cause, and he's died 8 alone.
Better you than me. Fearless. So he's just trying to work towards the BKB on the Quap now. But just wanting to remove a lot of the magic damage coming out of Moon, I'm sure, and even the control that's coming out. Because all these BKBs aren't really going to matter in the grand scheme of things when you have the Beastmaster Rule and the Clockwork Hook. And speaking of, Jabs does go on Boombill. They push him back with the Cogs. He just goes back in with the Cookie. And Sunray is going to burn him out, though. Aki will at least find another trade. But you look at Raven and Masteros, they're just fighting. Masteros turns around. Forev, meanwhile, getting a roar off onto Jackie, but he's time walk it off. Forev still making the chase. Masteros now needs to be careful, but the dagger not going to be enough. Jackie, he will survive just a little bit longer, and it looks like he's making his way out. The rest of MG.Trust will also be just fine. It ends up really just being a 1-for-1 again. Both supports just going down.
Yeah, and that is huge for MG.Trust. Obviously not committing the Ravage, not having the Chronosphere at all, and not committing the Scream of Pain and Sonic Wave combo. I think you now turn around with this MG.Trust. You look for a fight, you look for a Chrono, even through the ages. You just go fight Moon and kill it.
Fnatic. They've established a almost 3k net worth lead at the 25.5 minute mark. Gonna give it to MG.Trust. This is a much closer game than most people expected. He blinks in again. He does commit the Sonic Wave, but he actually does survive. They don't get a stun off. But Moon is still there, and he gets the kill. Great lightning bolt into the arc lightning, and they're looking for more perhaps. Maseros is around. He should know Forever might be with Moon.
Tell you what though, Fearless is living up to his name. He is blinking onto anything and everything to get this farm. It has paid off a lot, but he's obviously died twice, and both of them have been the same outcome. TP into
Dire's structures are
Looks fearless.
You know?
He is going to be out onto Moon, but you have the wall there from Forever. He was just waiting for it, but now a Ravage does fly out from Maseros. That'll be the Zeus gone, and that'll be a lot of your damage gone. Raven just hide out. Looks like they actually got another jab.
Yeah, that's sick from Jackie. Like we said, Moon has to die first. He has to be the one getting jumped on.
Jay gets caught out trying to TB. Does pop his BKB.
He has Chrono, but Boombell does have the little shredder, so I don't want to see DJ commit the kick.
Cookie tries to juke it out, but that toss is going to be there, and Jackie will be now on a mega kill streak. And that's 3 down from Fnatic's end of things, and that net worth lead I talked about a minute is suddenly just pretty darn even. It's less than 1k now for Fnatic.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the XP and net worth graphs. Nothing has gone past 4k in a 30-minute game, or 27-minute rather. That is incredibly close. 4k net worth at 27 minutes is negligible. XP even less so. This is an absolute banger already. This could go to 3 games. I'm hoping MG.Trust keep it together.
I hope so too. They've been looking great. Raven still just going to keep up with this Faceless Void farm, who is about 3k ahead of the Spectre. He's going into the Abyssal Blade, and you do kind of feel like Raven might need that added bit of control, especially into the Void and the Quap. And you've got so many stuns already, but yeah, just that extra one, just so he can jump on top of someone and ensure he can get some damage out before they time walk or blink away. Probably going to be the go here for the Spectre.
Yeah, definitely. On the other side though, we've got tier 3 items coming through. These are the items that start to make a huge difference, because if you get lucky with the Paladin's Sword, with the Quickening Charm, the game can turn around. You can see the Quickening Charm's already on Moon and already put on the Fearless Queen of Pain. So we're going to see some spell casting go hack and then fights.
You love to see it. There is a smoke out now from Fnatic's end of things. Do invade the dire jungle. Rocket Flare did go past Macross. Jabs just runs straight into him again with the hookshot to stun, but he just melts.
See you later.
And no, they back off. They actually don't want to initiate. It looks like they might just be satisfied with Jackie committing that BKB charge.
Honestly, I feel like Jabs is doing this on purpose.
Seems that
He
way.
straight up is like, I'm going to make you use your BKB. Be scared of the fact that we can Nimbus kill you.
It's actually quite clever though, right? So much of your damage is magical. When you look at Moon, when you look at DJ on the Phoenix, getting that BKB charge that much lower actually will be a pretty nice future investment for the side of Fnatic.
Well, it's already dropped to 7. So once it gets down to 5, if you raw him, all of a sudden he doesn't have a BKB for very long. Raw's a 4-second stun.
Moon, smoked up here. They do jump in, they found the Zeus. Now Mortimer's Kisses are going to fly out. Cave and Jackie will jump in to ensure they have the damage. Now, they might try to secure this mid-tier 2 tower.
Middle tower is under
Yeah,
attack.
another great play from Jackie to find that pick with
Dire's
Fearless.
top tower
This is
under
what
attack.
MG.Trust needs to be doing though. They need to be killing Moon pre-fight. If they have a fight where obviously we've seen we're on jab and it looks disastrous up, even with Ravager, doesn't matter. All you need to do is kill Moon.
Taros, trying to defend the tier 2, which is extremely low, but Forever sticking around.
Oh, Forev, please tell me you're going to blink and kill it. Please tell me you're going to do it.
He's going to use the board and try and go for the tier 2 tower kill, but he couldn't quite get there. 40 HP remaining, and that should be a nice, easy deny for the Tide later on. Still,
I think he might not deny it straight away purely off the fact that once you deny it, you can obviously start taking these outposts. Even then, it's quite a risky play because I think you can backdoor 40 health quite comfortably on almost anyone but Jabs.
yeah. Poor old Jabs.
Yeah, I mean, he's having a good game. Disregard the 11 deaths, but outside of that, he's having a pretty good game.
Yeah, solid.
It's clear Fnatic had a game.
See you later, nerd. See you
We're
later,
going to buy
nerd.
space for Raven. We're going to hope Moon doesn't get picked off. And we get to late game, we'll probably win. Because I think a Zeus late game with 25 into a low BKB cooldown team will dominate. And obviously, Spectre hits an R button. There's no real massive level of skill there. You will win fights just from hitting.
I'll tell you what though, I'm starting to get a little bit concerned here for MG.Trust. I look over to Raven and he is very, very close to just buying out that full eye of Skadi. Could be a concern here. Once he tanks up like this, we know what happens in the late game when you have a Spectre.
I was curious about the Abyssal build, but I do like this Skadi, realizing that a Chrono doesn't matter if you have an Abyssal, you're going to probably die. Skadi is a bit more health, about 300 more health, 250 more health, so tank up a bit more, really annoy them in the team fights, and then hope once again and get picked.
The recorded.
That is the aim of the game. Oh, Boom Bell. Oh my god.
Dyer's
That was
top
quick.
tower has fallen.
Forev able to pick up a kill there on the support Snapfire.
Did use Raw for it though. 70-second cooldown.
Masaros. Realize they are around the area, maybe just confident that he'll survive. Does hold the Craggy Cone on top of the rest of the auras he's currently got. So won't even bother with the tide, he's just way too big at the moment.
Definitely. And speaking of which, we were talking about the top tier tower not getting denied. Raven took it in the
Radiant's
end.
bottom tower
Raven
is
wasn't
under
just
attack.
one shot. What, Jab?
Jab is going to go out onto the vault. Jackie is going to be able to time walk away, but now the Nimbus has been placed. Masaros,
He has the Rav. I don't think he wants to.
he'll commit. The Ravage is going to be there. He's still burning out. Sunrise Moon does go in and eventually does allow the kill, but now Jackie does get in with the Chrono. He's got two in there, but Fearless is going to have the follow-up damage. They burst down to Moon and DJ. They want more. Fearless.
Man. Moon is playing so aggressive. I think he's taken a leaf out of Fearless's book and just dove in. You can't really do this as a Zeus, especially when your Thunder God's Wrath was up. Nimbus had about 9 seconds, 10 seconds left on cooldown. I don't know why you're jumping in to try to commit to a Tidehunter kill.
They could be forced to buy back on Fnatic soon because there is a Roshan coming in just a moment, I believe.
Neither team knows yet. That's like why we see this replay. Nothing is really happening except they have noticed the Roshan.
Okay. And that is TNC, rather Fnatic, excuse me, that have noticed. But Jackie, as we saw in the previous highlight, looking fantastic with that Chrono. They now seem to be aware the Roshan is up. They're going to keep tabs. Courier's flying in for the Roshan pit. No buybacks necessary from Fnatic's end as they are not even initiating yet. There we go. They'll go on to the Roshan now with Jackie.
They left it too late though, so Zeus is going to be up. They obviously do commit and back out. Also, have you seen the Bloodborne build from Jackie? He's building towards, he's all but committed with the Oblivion Staff. I quite like this. Like, once that Manta goes off on Raven, or better yet, once you get on top of Moon, it's a nice little lockdown. You force out either a BKB, a Yules, or some type of disengage for a very cheap, relatively decent item with the attack speed and the mana regen.
The next level way to play it. There is going to be a smoke from Fnatic, and Fearless is going to blink away this time. Masaron is going to land perfectly from Jab just from a mile away, but he does get himself out. Raven does have double damage active. He really wants to fight at the moment. Looks like he might not really have a chance, and instead he's going to try to start the Roshan up.
Yeah, this is scary because it's the clockwork, obviously. You have everything else bar the Nimbus up as well. But I don't think Raven wants to get solo chronoed into this pit.
Something. That Roshan's going down real quick.
He also went to health time at level 20. Not often seen. Jackie
Does jump in. Still no chrono. Oh, he's back into Roshan. He is getting very low. There's the Aegis Raven. He does pick it up, and Jackie does go down. But what a Ravage and Sonic Wave out from Fearless and Masaros. Is it enough? Probably not. Raven is still moving forward. With that Aegis, he just does not care about his own life, and he'll lose at least one.
He has Haunt on the second life there, so I would see Boombell getting absolutely destroyed here. And yep, see ya Boombell.
Straight after Boombell, he will go down, and even the club has been used, but Fearless will be able to blink out to Moon. Hawk from Jab landing again from a mile away, but Fearless does have the blink out. Q was there to save with the avalanche toss. Looks like he does force up himself back to the high ground. Overall though, like just looking at how that fight went out, you'd still say that Fnatic were on top.
Yeah, Fnatic did win there, even with the Jabs buyout, obviously once more. Support back for a Roche fight win and also a kill on Jackie, which is probably the biggest thing they got there. Not just the Aegis, but Jackie dying with no buyout. He obviously bought out the Orchid, I believe, another Oblivion Star. But now you get the tier 2, you reset map presence, you wait for Haunt to come back up, and then you fight again.
Way to do it.
And he has 3.5k health.
This is what I was kind of talking, and we haven't even maxed out yet because he's going into the Missile Blade soon. So the Vanguard gets added to that. A bit more HP coming soon for Raven.
It will be curious to see if he goes to dispersion damage at level 25. The norm these days is the actual Haunt Illusion. Your Haunt Illusions can actually just straight kill supports.
Yeah.
But with how tanky he is, I wouldn't be surprised to see the dispersion come out. Oh no, jabs. Is he going to do it? 4 apes here, but I don't think this is a kill they can take.
No, they won't either. Jackie has his teammate right behind him just in case.
Zeus didn't have mana with spells either.
Oh, there you go.
So, just everything just a bit too hard to kill Jackie.
Raven does get that Vanguard up and see Abyssal now, and with that Abyssal there,
See you later, nerd. See you later, nerd.
So it might be about that time they do go for that next team fight.
No buyout though, so it's a very risky strat here. Obviously Zeus is holding his buyout. He's not really that close to anything anyway. He's building towards that Bloodstone. But if Raven dies in this fight, it's 100 seconds where you're relying on Zeus to defend the base. Ooh, timeless relic.
Pretty nice.
Oh, please give that to the E-Blade Q.
Dire's
Tiny.
top tower is under attack.
They're probably going to get to Fearless just because, well, the Queen of Pain.
Right.
But I want to see the E-Blade do its work.
Love to see it. Looks like it probably will go to the Quap.
No? Oh, there it is. There. It's on the Queen of Pain.
All right.
So Fearless does take it. Once he gets that Scream Fear, level 25, that debuff duration is so dirty. It's so hard to deal with for Fnatic. And I think that's for them. Whether or not Fearless can get on top of the enemy heroes.
For Ross. Everyone just seemingly comfortable with farming at the moment, it seems. I mean, MG.Trust. I mean, they have the slight net worth lead. Kind of brought it up earlier, but no buyback right now on Spectre, or maybe there is now, but Raven is still just trying to get some more gold up for himself before he does make that big play.
Yeah, I mean, this happens a lot around the 4 items. This is... Oh, Illusionist Cape for Raven! Here we go! Oh, that's such a good spell. Obviously, the people that don't know, it will up his haunt damage, it will up his Manta damage, it will up his own damage. It's just a huge item for any illusion-based hero.
Neutral items, aren't they fun?
Well, they got the best two. I would argue that Spell Prism is the best item you can get for Zeus. And obviously, Illusionist Cape is most likely the best item you can get for Spectre.
Avalanche Pulse going to be up in Q, and he does immediately go down. Nobody else around the area to really go after here from MG.Trust to accept a pretty good kill and back off. That was a smoke being used up, of course, for that one. Fnatic just staying on the other side of the map, staying away from MG.Trust for now. Not really too interested in committing quite yet, but Jackie and the rest of his side, especially with this Bloodthorn, they look like they just want to keep going.
Yeah. They do have tempo a bit. Like I said, the level 25s that are going to come out on Zeus and Spectre are both massive. And obviously Jackie has his 25 already. That backtrack coming through really negates a lot of the damage. He is burst you before Time Walk comes off. And if you can survive because of a backtrack and you reset your health pool, all of a sudden this Zeus hero is a bit weak.
They're set up here for the bot lane. Trust go after that tier 2 tower. We did see Fnatic earlier on, that is, taking that tier 2 top, and they actually do pressure the top tier 3 a bit, forcing Fearless to TP back.
He's still going to lose another 300 odd health on the tower because Illusionist Cape, nice and fair item. There's some neutral items that need to go. They need to go, and Illusionist Cape's one of them.
I mean, neutral items in general, some of them are kind of game breaking. It gets a bit ridiculous at some point, but like you said, the Illusionist Cape one, like,
I mean, this could be, I'm speaking very early, but this could be a tier 5 neutral item.
Really?
I've only ever casted one of them before where someone actually used the tier 5 items.
You did call out earlier on that this would at least be a 40-minute game between these two, so I trust you. I mean, it is approaching that point now. We're about 20 minutes away from that tier 5 spot.
Yeah, definitely. I have to give props to MG.Trust. Whether they win or lose this game, already they've shown why they're here in ESL 1 Thailand. They have shown a very strong gameplay so far. And Fnatic came in as a top 3 team.
No, he's going to be out. He caught 2 of them for F. Going to be mainly targeted, but look at Jack. He's holding everyone back with the hookshot cogs. And of course, Raven will haunt in, going after the faceless voice. He will not be able to time walk away. He's getting stunned up. He will go tail to moon. And now the cleanup crew is upon us. Fnatic want to keep going. EJ, very, very low in terms of HP, but he does still have the egg. More than happy to use it. Raven going after Fearless. DJ waiting for the silence, but he will die before he can get the egg off. And that'll be Q for Raven to just leave the area as
Radiant's
Q
middle tower is under attack.
for Moon be able to get him.
Yeah, I mean, this is what you're saying though. Raven and Moon just don't, but they're not doing enough damage. I say that though. Azeroth,
A little bit careful. Spectral Dagger, that should be the end of this team fight. As MG.Trust seem to have had enough of this one. It really is a matter of that. The damage output just doesn't seem quite high enough yet from Fnatic to really be able to deal with everyone on the side of MG.Trust.
yeah. As soon as we see, I'd like to see Moon go for a refresher, honestly, before the Octarine. I know that's a bit out of order. Usually you do go the Ags, you go a mobility item, you maybe go two mobility items in this game, for instance. Then you go back to the Octarine. I want to see the refresher. I want to see a double Nimbus with an Abyssal and straight take Jackie off the map. I think they need to as well, with how strong he's being in these fights.
They got him last time, but if you got the refresher shard up or the refresher orb up, it's going to be a lot easier to burst him down.
Refresher shard, good point. Roshan may respawn in 3 seconds, so
Thank you for that.
MLP internal timer is on point.
I've been playing the game for a very long time. It's been what, 15 years?
Yeah, I really hate when people are like, oh, I've been playing it for a couple of years, and you're like, I didn't even play Dota 1, I'm too young.
Yeah.
But the people that are like 19 saying, oh yeah, I've been playing it for so long since like this patch.
Fearless gets roared up. Raven gonna haunt straight in, and Fearless, does he go down? Avalanche again from Q, but no, the stun's out from Raven. Just too much for the Quap. That's a big pick-off. No buyback available on that Queen of Pain, and well, that it's not up yet, but it looks to be a fast one, I believe.
It's going to be up almost to the second when Queen of Pain spawns, which isn't too bad because obviously there's a tier 2 in the mid lanes. He can TP to that, and they've still controlled this outpost quite comfortably on the top of the lane. So there is ways for him to get into this. Although I think Zeus ulting meant Jabs wanted blood. He doesn't have the hookshot up though.
Jab just wants to hook onto anybody. That guy loves throwing it out.
I mean, I quite like the gameplay, but at some point you have to get an item. Like, he's holding 3k so he can buy back. And he has a Vlad's queued up for Raven. I don't know if Vlad's is the best item. Or
Bell gets hooked on again. Raven with the follow-up Abyssal Blade.
that's a gem. That's huge. That's an absolute fantastic pick. And this one within 30 seconds for the Roshan pit. To take that out before Boom Bell.
Well, judging by the last time they took out the Roshan, I mean, it didn't take too long. Now, mind you, they had a double damage on Raven at the time, so perhaps it could be slightly slower, but I think they might be able to do it. Still, Boomba will be able to buy back if necessary.
He won't be able to TP to anything but the tier 2 though, so we'll have to commit to quite a far TP. Obviously not the biggest problem. One of his kisses has a million range.
Yeah.
I think it's like 2,000.
I mean, it's probably close to that. So,
Here comes the Roche. That is the refresher shard.
thank you very much. Raven and Forever will just get started. MG.Trust may not be aware that this is happening, but DJ, now with that Thunder God wrap, it may have made it a little bit more obvious, but the Roshan's already so low. They get it for free.
Yep. And they left the cheese on the floor for, I believe, DJ. Something I don't see often. Zeus went cast range talent.
Wow.
Has level 25, he's gone that cast range talent, but he doesn't even have an Aether Lens. So like he won't be doing from like the global range bolts combo, but that cast range talent is so far. He's put off because normal people go damage, but he'll be attacking from 2,000 units out.
That's alright. Danger gets the Ravage off. Still dies. Hookshot off Jabs. Just a perfect hookshot onto Fearless with the Abyssal Blade out. Oh, he's been a real playmaker this game, and Fnatic, they're looking for... They have found... Of course, it's going to be Boom Bell.
Ah, that poor man.
He can't do anything. He's just going to accept the fact that he's going to die. And Q is sticking around here with the Avalanche toss. Jackie's going to come in. They kill off Jabs, but now Forev is going to come in with the Raw. Jackie thinking about the Chrono, won't throw it out. will just back out of there.
Yeah, Gem does go back towards MG.Trust.
He blinks right in with the BKB up, trying to go after DJ, but DJ is way too tanky with the Willa Shaco.
Jackie needs to be careful. They've got the Abyssal up. I think they're going to go on him.
Raven on top. Jackie has the chrono, but look at how much Raven's HP pool is. He's not dying. The egg is going down. Jackie does commit the chrono. He'll get the egg. DJ gone. Now Ferret will also go down. And can they get the big one? Raven, he's getting bashed non-stop. He cannot catch the break, but he will finally be able to walk out of there because there is somebody else. All Jabs taking all the attention away once again. So Raven will go after Fearless. He gets the Queen of Pain back after Boomville, who is going to cookie away. And with the Glimmer Cape should be fine. And they seem to want Masteros, or maybe
That was a
they
flicker.
do.
It's a nice play. He's getting lucky.
Nimbus, Fuels, going to be out from Moon. Masteros does go down, and now Jackie jumps back in after Moon. But Moon does shoot him out. Now the Cons push back Jackie, trying to get himself out of there. He is not going to be able to, though. Raven, a triple kill out for the Spectre.
Jackie has no buyback. He jumped in with no buyback.
That's a problem.
And obviously we saw Fearless died back in that fight. I think this might be at least one Rax going down, if not two. Obviously it's going to be quite hard to push through both tier 2s at once, so they might not lose their entire base, but it was looking so good for MG.Trust, but that long fight.
Divine Rapier on Raven.
Okay. I don't hate that. He's got the Aegis.
I guess so. I mean, they've got no buyback anyway, so they might just rush the tier 4 towers, and they got that refresher orb you wanted as well, by the way.
Yeah, they used it on Phoenix still. So Zeus hasn't taken pressure off him, which is weird because double Nimbus is
No, but he's bought a refresher orb.
Oh, yes, he did. Give me the refresher shard too. I want to see 3 of them.
He might not even have the chance. They're going after the tier 4s with that Divine Rapier. Raven, just slowly but surely getting through that tier 4, but there's the Mortimer's Kisses going onto that three-way button. The hookshot jabs once again straight into the fence this time around, and they just roar him up. That might be it. The tier 4s are down, the Ancient is exposed, and the GG has been called. The side of Fnatic will be able to take game 1 in quite explosive fashion.
Yeah, honestly, MG.Trust, they may have lost the game, but I'm going to give them huge props. They made that look so competitive for 45 minutes. They made one mistake in that late game fight. That game could have been theirs, honestly.
Dark Seer.
Patience key. I want to see them pick it back up. I want to know that they have a coach in the back of their ears telling them, don't worry about game 1. Play near perfect. Just need to play perfect.
With this new draft, though, does it incite more confidence into you, right? Like, Fnatic, they went back to the gyrocopter, which personally I'm not a big fan of, but Raven does play it quite a lot, and he plays it quite effectively. The side of MG.Trust got a brand new draft going for themselves. Did it bring some more confidence into you going into this game number 2?
To tell you the truth, I know Lifesteal's a worse hero, but he's easier to execute in my mind, and I feel like I will harp on this. I do this so much for Australian casts as well. New teams or untested, play what works, play simple, play for stuns. Don't go flashy until you each other. And I think Motivate have gone back to that. They've obviously picked their Tiny, they're very comfortable with Pain, Void Spirit, but then they've gone this Lifesteal. I think that's just more of a solid, well-rounded carry to establish their team into a nice fight in the mid.
Hey, just judging by game 1, I'm sure they're going to put on a performance for us in game number 2. Of course, are going to be trying to take this 2-0 if they can, right? Yeah. They're not playing around. They're here to just get the 2-0 and leave. I think Motivate is surprising a lot of people. I know the panel's been harping on about it, and I know you've been harping on about it. But here we go. We're into the game number 2. Fnatic versus MG.Trust game. And look, personally, tell you what, I would love to see a game 3 between these two.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm a big fan of game 3s purely because you get the back and forth, and then you get to finish. But are they going to be stopped? Are Fnatic able to do a 2-0 with Raven Gyrocopter? Here we don't see much. Like, we talked about it in the draft, we talked about it just then. Raven is one of the only players I know that actually picks this hero.
A lot. for the matter. And he does play well. From what I remember, he does do a great job on it. Gonna find out soon how he does perform. Of course, the hero's basically just farm, take a team fight if you need to later on, but just farm. Just do gyrocopter things. Jack's gonna be, I assume, doing the same sort of thing. The lifesteal obviously needs some items up before it can be anywhere near effective. And this laning phase even, like, he's gonna be up against Forev on the Darkseer. You'd imagine the lifesteal doesn't care too much for the Darkseer.
I mean, the problem with lifesteal, you don't want to be spamming Rage just to get rid of that one creep that has Iron Chill, and then it becomes 2 creeps, and then obviously Darkseer starts to run at your head. But you can survive the lane. Obviously, you get a bit of help regen. He's better than most. He won't. You're going to probably see him quite agitated, stuck under his tower quite often. And you saw the last game, he's comfortable playing behind, he's comfortable ahead. That was a brawly lane, so maybe this slow down AFK farm might fit him a bit better.
Run straight to Fearless. So the Void Spirit versus the Ember matchup. Now this is what I've seen quite a few times. Generally it does seem to go a bit more evenly, but I would personally say Mooch have a slight advantage just based on the fact that, you know, the Resonant Pulse can't really pick out the Flame Guard of Mooch. What do you think about that, Pablo?
I think it comes down to, we just saw there, right? He tried to remove the Flame Guard instant, but he power attacks for him. If he has to keep doing that, then the lane will be lost. But if he gets those Flame Guard removals at a pretty decent rate, then he can win the lane. He has a better auto attack, and he has quite a nice spell kit to actually annoy Ember. It will obviously come down to Fearless out lane.
Fearless on low HP, still top lane for Rev. Going to be there dealing with Boombell, who's on the stack away. If we do see DJ, he did pull the creep wave back towards his tier 1 and tier 2 tower. And, this is something you do with the Darkness quite a lot, right? You just want to keep splitting up where the creeps are, to make it very uncomfortable for Jackie on this lifestyle, and make Boombell get to work. He's going to go and just start pulling creeps away and back behind his own tier 1 tower.
Yeah, definitely. I do this though, and it shows how much Darkseer annoys players. Like, it's so clear what's happening here, and they can't stop it. Jackie can't do anything. Can't actually just cop it on the chin. And Darkseer's been in this for what, 6 years, and they still haven't come up with a proper alternative to pulling the lane out, throwing an iron along, and just saying, come get it.
The bot lane, see Masaros on the off lane, Queen of Pain up against Raven. It's something you don't see too often. It does pop up here and there that'll pop. Raven probably going to be slightly what he has to play against this. Bot doesn't tend to dominate the lanes. But I guess as the levels go up the gyrocopter, this should be a bit safe. Because you never really want to blink into the gyrocopter.
I mean, Fearless was doing it last game. He wasn't blinking into a gyro, but he was blinking into what seemed like everyone else. So we'll see if it's a team motivational thing, or if it's just a Fearless gameplay. But I'm very curious to see how.
At least Fearless does have another hero where he can just kind of get into a team fight. Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see as well. Obviously, level 6 is so huge coming from that. It's an early level 6 for Masaros. Do we see him rotate and just try to body this Emperor, or try to kill off the gyrocopter?
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Fogs, DJ just going to push away Boombell. It's funny actually, I was about to just bring up the fact that Jazz is actually on the Phoenix this time. They switched up these two heroes, which surprised me a little bit considering how effective Jabs was. We joked about him dying a lot, but man, he really did just win out that game for Fnatic last time around. Giving it over to DJ, giving a bit more farm speed priority now on the clockwork. I love myself a possible clock, I've got to say.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I think Jazz plays the clockwork bit better than DJ. DJ to have that farm. His clock is exceptional as well, and I'm okay with that. Like the switch and roll, I understand that sometimes the show, sometimes you have to cop it on the chin. Where this time I think Jabs is going to have a way better game. Probably won't die 15 times. You might limit it down to like 8 or 9. I feel like depends entirely on if he did suicide dives. Sort of curious.
Yeah. Let's take the power rune down to that bot rune spot. That was the 4-minute rune going the way of the dive, but it doesn't really matter. Just an illusion rune. Boombell making a bit of rotation to that mid lane as the Snapfire, but can't really see much getting done with the Snapfire rotation.
Yeah,
Move his way back up.
It's an awkward hero against an Ember because he can just light dodge the cookie, and yes, you're going to get the another shot on. You're going to get a bit of damage. You're not going to kill him. You're just going to annoy him, if anything, and you might have lost another lane. Do that rotate.
Okay. He's back. Boombill's going to be slightly wary of that battery assault. Of course, mid lane, we saw the Ember getting very, very low. Jabs will take over this lane for now.
See you later,
He's going to make the chase. Boombill still have Cookie available, and Q is just around the tree line. In fact, he's going to try for a toss attempt into the neutral camps and just takes the bounty. But now Jabs is going to come in on the Phoenix, and they are going to make chase onto that Tiny.
See you later, nerds. It was a 4-for-0 rune. Just looking at the side as well, I think MG.Trust just gained about 1,000 for a gold.
Fantastic.
It's quite a heads up play as well. You see the rotation coming. They understand lifesteal like you said, so they can afford to use both their supports to release top room. And then how do you have a gyrocopter running away from the
DJ surged up. Another one of those nice sort of combinations, the Iron Shell and various on the clockwork. Going to be annoying Boom, especially on that Snapfire to do. Even if you do have Cookie, it's just so much burst damage. Not really burst damage, but just damage over time. Yeah, it tends to come pretty darn quick if you're not careful.
Don't worry. Wait for mid-game when it's a gyrocopter running at you with rocket.
That's very, very true.
It's only worse from you.
Yeah.
I think that's their draft style right now. They're pretty much all in this gyrocopter. Ember Spirit, obviously, once he gets a few items, I assume he'll go towards a Yule Scepter or that milestone maybe. Be a drums Ned. He won't be going that attack damage build. He will definitely play that.
Boombill. He's getting jumped. Battery assault, not going to be enough yet, but DJ does manage to get it. Fall for it with the Iron Joe, and now Jackie trying to get to the cogs up for Rev. Rev still on the run, doesn't have Surge, will go down. Jackie will be just fine to get back to the lane, and that's another thing I was going to put. He already has his minus.
Yeah, that is a 6-minute minus, maybe 6.5. We'll give him the downside of that, but even then, that's really quick. The benefit of lifesteal in a lane where he's dying, it's very hard to navigate. Rage, he has Fest. And Fest's helpful right now with that extra movement speed that you get on creeps. It's a get out go freaker. That's what most cores use it for in the early game. They don't really use it for that burst damage like we used to see. So I like to see the minus. I like that he gets the scale and he realizes that.
On the other side of the spectrum though, like you look at Raven, he was going straight for the Aghanim Scepter Rush, which is still pretty standard, right? Like we don't see Jara that often, but that is the general kind of build-up, and MG.Trust. They're going to run straight into Raven. They're going to jump. Fearless is there. Raven just, I mean, it wasn't even close. So much burst damage for now. DJ going to make his TP rotation in. Hasn't hit level 6 yet. There's just no way to keep up with Fearless.
This is much better for Fearless already. I feel like he's more comfortable on this Void Spirit already, knowing when to rotate. He still has only one jump away.
And we're bothered trying to chase. DJ, let's get the cogs put back. Enough. Just pick up the haste rune and leave it at that. Will they though? No, they won't move it with the DD. Might actually end up going down. Does get the slide up into the remnant. Boombill getting very, very low to Raven. The rocket Brock's not going to be enough. He does TP out successfully. Fnatic are unable to punish at all. In fact, Fearless is running back in. He literally doesn't care.
Any other the haste rune, you wouldn't get away with that play.
Dire's structures
but obviously,
are fortified.
still not great for each team. They have to commit a lot of spells. Ember plays for it, but now we're going to see the problems. Trying to TP. I love this interaction, except it's not even TPing.
No, he's not. Gonna run straight into Q, unfortunately, and the avalanche doesn't be out. You got a bit greedy, you should have just hit the TP, but Q knew he might just stick around.
It just shows that Motivate are learning from last game. They realize they're playing, even if it's a different player. Phoenix was quite greedy. He was looking for
Radiant's bottom tower is
where
under
he should have
attack.
been, and he wasn't really backing early, and Q bits on it and gets another free kill for it.
Very well already for MG.Trust Gaming. Fnatic, they're going to smoke up. back into their rather Radiant jungle, but Jab's already being jumped. He's gone. Fearless. Setting up another. Mathros will take the kill on the offlane. Fnatic with this smoke. Gonna try getting chained onto Boonbill, but he's just gonna make a run for it.
Radiant's
Only level
bottom tower
1 chains, and he's got help. Q is waiting, and we do have an unfortunate poor timing.
Normally.
Rev just gonna disconnect, but you look at the way this is all set out right now. Q and Fearless should be ready to jump back in.
Yeah, this is actually terrible for Fnatic right now. Boonbill jumping back towards his team, obviously not getting the cogs off, was huge. And it just shows the issues with trying to rotate Priest against high mobility. Yeah, Fearless, you're never going to kill. Queen of Pain, if you somehow kill, I'll be amazed. Lifestealer, pretty much impossible if you... And you're now relying on killing Boonbill, who can... Or Tiny, who is just throwing you to, like, neutral creeps, throwing you up in the air and killing you. It's so hard to play this DJ block.
Huge set, by the way. Jack here just really putting in the dollary dues, getting it done.
And Raven just really doesn't want to drop that cash.
Nah, no, he does not. No, case no. He will back off. I mean, that's the smarter decision. You see three heroes there. Masaros was just behind the tree line going up T1. It was just way too dangerous for him. That'll be T1 tower gone. Fnatic, they're not in a position to try and trade.
Yeah, Fnatic looking really soft right now. They're kind of getting run over from all lanes. Quite tiny. You can tell Fnatic aren't in trouble quite yet, but they're heading towards that area. And they're losing runes again. That's a 3-1. I believe. Yes, that's just more free money for Motivate.
They are finding a lot of those bounties. Fearless again, just look at him. With Boonbill back into that Radiant side jungle. Checking for the wards on that cliff. They won't get any. Probably won't bother trying the moon. I don't believe they have enough lockdown for the Ember.
Yeah, definitely. Both ways, we were saying Lifesteal, Quap, obviously Fearless, Lloyd Spirit Hard. No one can really die on Fnatic right now, the Phoenix. And Phoenix is very clearly the sacrificial lamb where he's farming, where he is playing. He doesn't really care. He's just going to make sure he gets them. He's very close.
We go again. The pace onto Boonbill. They have been trying to get this guy for so long, and they will finally get it. Jab.
See you later, nerds.
One with to get the kill with the Sunray. But this is just so much space being created by Motivation Trust. Like, Jackie has been uncontested. He's sitting at almost 6k net worth.
Yeah, he's quite a chubby boy right now. Obviously, that Midas was very early, but since then, he's still kept that AFK coming up. There's nothing for it to really do. We are basically just waiting for this mech plus one item on Gyrocopter, and then you start to see the Speed Boy launching in with Rock.
Always a bit of fun.
Until then, though, like, it's Motivate's game to lose.
Middle tower is under attack.
Smoke up. They're going to try and make another play occur up at this top lane. Top is already out on Frev, who's getting shredded by Jackie. DJ trying to help Cogs, actually does pick up Q as a kill, and that's a pretty bad start from the side of Motivation Trust. But they do get Frev on the Dark Seer, and now Jabs forcing things jump to the Phoenix. Will die.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Coming out from Masaros.
Losing your core as well, and you're going to lose it pretty much forever. Can't imagine the back off from even with the port through.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Great. T1 the way out. They'll try for the mid T1.
Is under attack.
Is there on the Ember, trying to get rid of that T1 tower mid and apply some pressure.
This Q highlighted this in the graph. They need to
They don't have forever. Up the Sonic Wave, Boonbill is being chased by DJ, but it's just DJ. An Iron Kill, mind you. It's a lot of damage, can't feel it. No, doesn't blow him up. Not yet, DJ still trying to chase.
See you later,
another kill off Boonbill. He with the chains. The Infest is going to be out with the avalanche from Q. They finally crossed the snap bomb now. Jackie will be just fine to walk his way out. While that's all happening, of course, the Quap just split put in the top lane.
Yeah, they're not going to get anything done for that. And it wasn't even a good fight for them. Trade snap fire, clockwork. Obviously, the clockwork is the pos core, but they're basically the same net worth. So how set the game Jabs and DJ are having right now. Both so poor.
Standards poor game, unfortunately for them. Moon mid lane, just trying to catch up. He's trying to get that first core item on this Ember to actually be able to do something here. And of course, with the drums, he can get a little bit more aggressive. Needs to get that up first, and by the time he gets that up, Gillis is going to have the Yules up.
This is what I was saying that when you have to go one core item, whether it's the Yules, it's the drums, he's gone for the drums, which is the most bite RA3. The problem's going to be he's not farming, and it shows. He's falling behind 4 players in this. All 3 of the motivate, and obviously the Gyro.
Jackie, he targeted live heroes up from
Radiant's
Fnatic.
middle tower is under attack.
And have lockdown. They just send a homing missile out and it's onto that tier 1 top
Dire
tower.
structures are
That's all they can really claim here. I mean, there's not really anything else on the map that they can actually go for, but their mid tier 1 is being forced in.
Yeah, this is a tier 1 that's probably going to die. It's going to start to rotate though. I just saw the Phoenix TP. Clockwork is the main man to defend that. So if he has TP'd, it's pretty much a lost cow.
Gonna show himself, trying to get the deny on, but Cookie stunned up with the avalanche toss out. Moon barely gets out with the remnant. But it looks like the Quap is making a bit of a chase, and Moon does have that Shadow Strike following him, so they kind of have a bit of vision of Moon. No, they're not going to continue the chase. They'll even be just a bit too far away. Still, they got what they came. Got the tier 1 mid tower. They lose no bodies for the side of MG.Trust. I'd say you're pretty happy with the Dire.
It looks to me like it might be a
Radiant's
one rotate.
is under attack.
Jabs.
Dire's
Down
top
very,
tower
very
is
early.
under attack.
I was just about to say it's 3-1 rotate for bounty rings, but they found jabs for 4-1 basically.
Why not?
Oh, this is... It's not looking like the Fnatic we saw last game, to tell you the truth. They're looking a bit lackluster, a bit lackadaisical, just quite not into it, really.
Find out. I mean, Raven's almost at that Aghanim Scepter now. That might be cute to go, but Jackie, he's got to have a Desolator up. I mean, this guy really hasn't stopped farming at all. Doing a fantastic job, and, well,
Dire's top tower
they're going to
is
try
under
and get
attack.
some aggressive positioning, just take over that Dire side jungle. DJ's actually right next to Toonbell at the moment. But mid lane, that is going to be Moon on. And Toonbell is going to get jumped off that DJ with the vacuum out. But now the Sonic Wave, Toonbell does eventually die, but at what cost? Marev, he's going to go on the darts here. And now the hook shot out from DJ is going to be cancelled. The TP will not make it huge. Just in a perfect position, and it's another double kill for Masaros.
I mean, so far this offlane campaign is looking more farmed than most mid players. So at 16, that's it, 7.5k network. He's absolutely huge. Haven't quite seen what he's building, but it doesn't really matter right now with how farmed Jack is. His core can just do it all without him. And look at Moon, he can't really do this lane.
Nah, Flame Guard, it's not really going to help. Jackie's just perfectly fine. Make matters worse for Fnatic, there is an Orchid now up on our Queen of Pain from Motivate Gaming. So Masaros have a bit more utility, a bit more kill potential on this Quap. It's a matter of whether Fnatic want to try and defend the spot lane at all, as they really have grouped up quite a bit of quite a few heroes here. They don't look like they're going to respond to that. They're just sitting back, taking as much farm as they can from their own triangle. They understand they're not really in a position yet to make aggressive plays. But as you axe up on Raven at least, you've got something going.
Probably the axe I've always found is that alone doesn't really... Yeah, it's an extra auto attack. 1.2, 1.3 seconds area. Yeah. But it doesn't really do much when you have no damage. And Gyro doesn't really hit that hard right now. He's probably hitting for about 110. So here. Until he gets that next item, then it comes to bit.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Being pushed, they'll get it for free. Tier 2 on top.
Radiant's bottom
Not so
tower
valuable,
has
but
fallen.
it's just adding on the gold, and now the smoke out. Momentum is all the way of MG.Trust. They're going to run straight towards the north. They know
Dire's
around their own
top
tier 2
is under
tower.
attack.
DJ.
And this is how you win all the game right here. They catch off Moon. If they catch off Moon before, that'll be huge. And
Nice nice
Radiant's
smoke
middle
break, and
tower
Moon
is
just
under
gets himself
attack.
out of there.
but right now they're just throttling the map. You can see where Fnatic are farming right. Got 2 on the top lane in a really awkward position, and they're gonna die.
Yeah, DJ. That'll the awkward reveal out from Azeroth. To that clockwork, it's a very easy kill to take. Of course, Forever just going to TP it out. And MG.Trust just back to controlling their own side of the map. Raven just... he's just doing the best he can right now. He's just got one job to do on this gyrocopter, and that's hit creeps. But surely they've got to contest this shot.
How can they though? That clockwork. Like clockwork's their main engagement. I don't even know if they know. With the creep coming through now, they realise what's going on. But it's rotations can fall by the time the rocket hits.
Got vision. They've got a couple seconds. Are running their way in, but they've got ASAP. There's a sunray, and it's be no good. Jackie, he does have the ages. They've got the chains are out with the drop from the gyro. They're gonna kill off Q. In fact, Jackie, he's very, very far forward of life stealer at the moment. Ellis gonna jump in and let the invest occur onto himself. Back onto Moon.
Could be the wrong way. I think they want
to go anyway. They're fearless. They're gonna go bomb Moon, slow K, DJ. Gonna hook shot into the back. That's onto Boombill. They do get on support. Now Jack kind of left behind, but there goes Forever. The avalanche shot from Q is way too high. And that'll be it. They get the Aegis, and they cannot afford to go for any more. They just get themselves away from this dire situation.
Nice fun. I like that one.
Thank you very much. Glad you noticed.
Thought you wouldn't let it slip by. No, not happening. But double buyback for the team with the Aegis, and they lose the Aegis as well, all for a Forever Darkseer trade. That is huge right now. Like they need these fights to stay in the game, and I think the fights is how they win. Just really sloppy engagements, not spells being put on properly. Anyone can't really get on the fire. You can't kill Moon quick enough. You saw a Yules to dodge the Sonic Wave, and I think that set up the fight, using those spells to commit to a dual scepter.
Catch-up game continuing. There's a 10k net worth now for Motivation Trust. That's only been climbing.
It was just okay, but they got another 4 runes.
How many runes have this guy got?
I feel like it's like 14-2 right now. It's ridiculous.
Fearless? He did use both his astral steps, but Fnatic aren't going to be in a position to try and capitalize.
I just noticed Ember doesn't have a Yule.
He does not.
Someone used him.
Oh, that is true.
Oh, he made a mistake in that team fight. That's a bit of a problem. I'm not even sure who. That's
the panel's problem, mate. We'll just
been
leave
Void's
it.
honestly.
Radiant's middle tower is
It's a
under
bit
attack.
of worry.
Yep.
Dire's bottom
He's just going to get
tower is
started
under
on tier 2
attack.
mid-tower. I mean, they've got the Desolator on. Now he's got a Halberd. So
Radiant's
he's
top
hit like a
tower
truck
is
and he's
under
feeling
attack.
confident.
He might as well, right? He's so strong right now. He obviously doesn't have the Aegis, but he has the Halberd, has the Clock Sharp. Even the Brazier helps him out in that.
Well, trying to split push, but a great Yule's out from Fearless with the Aether Remnant, but it actually gets taken by Jabs, who can just Icarus dive out. Boombill on Q. They do have to blink up on the Tiny. They'll go up for it, and he just got so quick. He does drop the wall, but it's going to be no good. And so does Jabs, going down to Fearless on the Void Spirit. In fact, for Mataros, he's going to see an Ember.
Moon, this is not the fight you want to be taking, mate.
Well, Raven is around to try and help out. Hookshot not going to land from DJ. Great timing out from Mataros. And now the rest of his team going to be right behind him. Cute looking for that blink. Let's get an avalanche into the toss back. Feels into the Aether Remnant. Well, they're starting on them now.
See you later, nerds.
That'll be the tier 2 mid. It's gone.
You know what, MLB? It might be time to start thinking about thinking when's game 3 going to start? What are Fnatic going to come back to win in the series? Because 12 minutes in, it's got a 10 kill lead, and the momentum is so heavily favored for me. They are rolling in these fights. The only fight they lost was a stake on the Void Spirit's tools.
That is true. I wonder, like, looking at these drafts, if you're going to go into the late games 20 minutes from now, who would you favour?
If they make 20 minutes staying at the same level of lead, I feel like they could pull it back. The late game is so scary. But that's the thing, will the league not just
He got used up at the last split second, but he's going to use his remnant.
See you later.
Also has open walls next to bot lane. At least but it's not really worth losing your Ember.
Yeah, really rough for them. On the plus side, they can have, oh my god, the Nasserov. Magic.
Taking the book off. The hook shot is in from DJ. Jackie on the kill. He gets jabs again on Fnatic, and Jackie just keeps going. Nice vacuum off the surge. Fearless on the chase. Doesn't have the Yules up at the moment. And instead, they're just going to settle for DJ and the boss work. Another nice easy kill for the... No, forever. He's going to die. Q. He just knows where everyone is, this Tiny.
Yeah, we just talking about whether or not the league gets greater. Well, it just went 4-1 and they lost Boom Boom. The lowest net worth hero by 2k. Quite a sizable amount. He definitely is playing that pos 5 or 6 role that I like to look about, but MG.Trust playing way better this game. It's nice crisp soda.
It is crisp. In fact, going to be out on Q. Which does kind of indicate they might want to go for some more team fight.
Yeah, I mean, they can kill pretty much anyone with this combo. I think he has the back as well. Anyone but Garo, I think, can go to this combo.
Raven, look at the he's queued up the Divine already.
Oh boy, we're here now.
Aghanim sets the BKB and Divine Rapier for Raven. I guess that's the way to play this. I mean, you're talking about how behind they are. Divine's one of those ways you can get back into the game and...
See you later, nerd. See you later,
suddenly
nerds.
the evasion of the lifestealer doesn't matter anymore.
Shows desperation.
It does.
Like, we can obviously see the net worth of kills like they can, but it shows that Fnatic feel like they're even further behind where
Radiant
real
are
to go.
scanning.
Having lifesteal to go straight in there is scary. And there, a pick.
Too easy. Avalanche toss, the infest out. That'll be another kill going out to Q. Jabs will have to cop it. It's the Fnatic just taking the free space they have and using it to the best of their advantage. Net worth timing the other way. Motivation.Trust, they're just not slowing down. They're already closing back in. Another bounty just being left there for them to take. Is going to be targeted first. The silence still come out. Now the Yules into the 8th rem of Fear. The split slider. This and no, it's not going to be enough. They didn't have a remnant out.
Another boom.
Another boom bill trade. Moon dies, boom bill dies. It's a great trade for Motivation.Trust.
It also shows what they're doing though. Boombill doesn't care. He's playing these dead lanes like about.
Radiant's
often.
top tower
He's
is under
finding
attack.
farm where he can. He's dead, probably like 150 gold per dead. Does not. It's less than 1 wave if he actually gets caught. And they're finding picks without him anyway, so completely fine. He's just gonna farm up an item. He might have a 4-star, something like that for a fight.
He's basically the Jabs of game 1.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Except with more farm surprises.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not quite.
No, not bad. Raven just... He's at 2.5k gold now. Like, you're getting closer and closer to at least being... Oh, Avalanche.
Radiant's top tower
I
is
die
under
for this,
attack.
but
Open wounds. Out from Jackie, but the surge is just going to last way too long.
I say that, but they're going to come in with Fearless.
They're going to go after Forever instead. They'll ignore the gyrocopter, they'll go for... And it should be a very, very easy kill now that he's trapped in the tree line.
Another heads up play from Kevin. And even helped there? No, he did not. Master just assaulted him.
Yeah, Nasserov taking a very, very easy kill for himself on the quad. He's actually just working with an ace now. Like, that's just how far ahead they are. This awful quad doesn't feel the need for anything else. He has the Orchid, he has the BKB.
Yeah, I would expect the Greaves, the Yules, the Ag style build for the off-lane. But he's going, nah, I'm a corner. I can play that bench. I don't really care. We're so far ahead right now. There is this almost 6k net worth lead between Lifestealer and Carry Raven on this.
Of Raven, how much longer he needs to have that Divine, and even when he does have the Divine up, do you think that's enough? Like, obviously added damage is really nice. In fact, we'll hold that because Q is looking for another toss attack.
Probably going to find with his rapier. He has no life still, right? So even if he's dealing this damage out, as long as Jackie's on top of him, keep hitting with the feet, I think he actually wins that fight. Because the Abyssal, because the
Radiant's top
Halberd,
tower is under attack.
and put it on him pre-BKB. I think Jackie still wins that man mode before the Satanic, or at least before the Bolton Master.
Roshan We're going down here to motivation. The second Roshan of the game.
The cheesy.
Nice little cheese. There is a smoke out from Fnatic, but unfortunately they are across the map. That'll mean a free Roshan going out to this Dire side. Plus Fnatic, they haven't actually backed off. Even with this Aegis going to the way of the Dire, they decide they just go for this Dire triangle. And, alright, well, he has the Demon Edge on the Gyrocopter, just going straight into the Take Relic next. You pointed out there's a Morbid Mask as well.
His Q's look so sad. He's just get up and rapier that Morbid Mask. Not even this attack. He's like, man, I just need some cheap life steal. This game's so bad.
It's a tough one. Jackie, he's going to go onto the high ground now.
Radiant structures.
He's got a missile.
Yeah, they jump in. Just can't get an egg off his time.
He has buyout.
Dire's bottom
You basically
tower is under
buy
attack.
out for a 30-second cooldown. Or was it 35? I think it's 30. Either way, like, you're using it for a cooldown of an item,
Radiant's
no
top
big
tower has fallen.
ultimates used, no big spells used, and Jackie's just
He is.
Is under attack.
They're going to jump in.
Move.
Avalanche again setting up on move, and now the hook shot in from DJ. Lands on two with the cost pushback. MG.Trust on the way out. That's it. They don't want to go any further. Seems just happy with the tier 3 stuff for now.
Yeah, they did repel them, so that is something, like a decent fireball and all. The problem is, yeah, you repelled them, you forced a buyout, you did die as well. You got nothing out of it. You got one BKB charge out of Masro.
They are really giving.
Oh, not the Abyssal again.
Oh, there is the Abyssal Moon. No bounty rune for you, sir. Off you go. It's just the story of this game. I mean, you've brought it up 3. I mean, we need to count on these bounties. They have gotten so much gold from these bounty runes. The side of the
Yeah, no, this is exclusive for why people hire Fnatic, right? For that bounty rune counter.
Yeah, he is good. Raven gonna be forced to BKB and just run his way out of there. So not exactly how he wants to commit these BKB charges, but you've got no choice, especially when you're getting this close to the full divine. You just can't afford to die as this Gyro.
Yeah, I mean, even if he dies now, I feel like the game's not being
Radiant's
saved.
top barracks
It's
are under attack.
so hard for them to play from here. And Jackie, like you can see, he's got the MKB all but ready.
Radiant's top barracks
He will
has fallen.
most likely
Radiant's
have to
top
walk for
barracks
ages
has
to pop
fallen.
before he actually switches it out. I don't know
Radiant's
if he wants
middle
to
tower is
sell
under
any.
attack.
Here's another Rax. Here we go.
It's free. Nobody's defending.
Radiant's
gonna
middle
go
tower
three.
has fallen.
I feel like no one in but Australia, New Zealand people want this in that ad campaign that ran for how
Radiant's
long.
middle barracks
That'll be the second round going down now.
has fallen.
Even just trying to get the divine to be able to one last team fight, but they're gonna lose all lanes of racks if they don't hurry up.
Sell it all, man. Sell the treads, sell the Wraith bands, get into this fight. You need to, because you said this is Megas.
You don't need boots if you're in your base anyway.
Dire's bottom
Does pick it up
tower is
now.
under attack.
BKB gonna be forced up to the quad.
Still Megas, but
If they're gonna find the Megas. There it is. They're just backing off. They don't want the fight.
oh boy. I feel like this is either going to end in the next 3 minutes, or it could take 30 minutes for them to push past Raven.
Either way.
Oh boy, that build looks so sad.
He's doing the best he can in these circumstances.
He does have a paladin build though, so he has that free lifesteal, which when he eventually gets Satanic will be incredibly hard to do.
It's very, very good. That's one thing to look forward to here for Raven.
That's about it. That's about all he has to look forward to. Oh, it's one of those games where you look at your team, you're like, oh man, everyone's so poor.
As long as they can hold the base, as long as that Ancient's live, nothing's, this game is not over, and they're gonna smoke up now.
Yeah, we have seen work. But
The smoke jumps straight with the advance from Raven. Gone, the defense on the death. This game is all but over. It's 2 gone, they've called the GG, they had enough.
I mean, you lose the rapier, it's about to be, it's a 45k net worth. Yeah, cool. That's just icing on the cake, those extra kills they got. But motivate, they hit with new levels of motivation, they trusted each other, and now we're going to get the puns out of the way for their team. lot of confidence, and their heroes just have enough luck that they could pull this off quite comfortably. I'm going to go with Motivate just because I want to see an underdog story, and I think it'd be hilarious if Fnatic lost it.
Love
30
to see it,
seconds.
but as QO said, why would you choose PA? It's a stupid hero, and
It's not a good PA game. Like, there's
Okay.
so much armor on Fnatic. Like, yeah, sure, you get the Deso, you get the armor corruption later on, but Timber's going to have 30 plus armor. Dragon Knight gets passive 30 plus armor. Sven has the war cry. Tim, even Ogre is tanky. Who is he going to blow up?
that is true. I mean, there's nobody really on the map that he could just delete,
battle begins.
apart from maybe that Mirana, but even then, she could probably just leap away in time. We'll find out. Especially Fnatic, though, I've got to say. I mean, last game, game number 2, they weren't taking any bounty runes away from MG.Trust. This game around, I don't think you can give that much free gold away to this dire side.
Yeah, honestly, it felt like they gave away like 15k worth of gold,
Yeah.
which is just insane to think about. I wouldn't even want to know how many bounty rings. Like, I stopped counting at the 10-minute mark. I was like, nah, it's too many. I don't want to see this from first.
The top lane, of course, Boombell and Jackie gonna be up against Rev and DJ. Now, this is the Timbersaw up against that PA. Of course, Boombell on the Undying should be able to annoy Rev quite a bit, but the PA probably gonna have to sit back and just stack the creeps the whole time, especially as the levels go up on this Timber.
Yeah, definitely. The penalty mentioned that the tri-lane was possible. It's clear now Ogre just TP'd bot, actually, on the jabs. But they don't really want to commit to this tri-lane scenario. Masaroff had such a good game this time. They're a bit wide. But yeah, you're right. PA's just not going to have a fun time in my eyes. Especially once poor Ev gets level 3 and he has 2 levels in that.
I estimate
Fearless
the
is in the
probability
mid lane
of
on that
winning
Void Spirit again. Now, he was doing a really great job. Mind you, they were so far ahead at that point that he could just afford to keep Astral stepping forward in game 2 and just keep making plays happen. I wonder if he has a repeat performance in this game. Might be a little bit more challenging in the mid lane up against that DK. Just generally a lot tankier and a lot safer.
I mean, the other issue is obviously with DK, it's almost impossible to kill. If the Void Spirit has decent, and I'm not sure what the ping issue is for Fearless this game. You know what? I can actually check. The benefit of being off stream. Oh boy, some of these players are having a lot of ping. But where is he? Oh, he's fine. He's actually not lagging at all. So yeah, he's got quick hands. I'm almost certain he's going to be able to dodge his dragon attack. Okay, he goes into that ultimate form. And even then, if he coughs it on the chin, I don't know if he dies. He just double steps away, dissimulates to get rid of some of the damage. It's a very hard game to kill.
On the other side of things, like, once you get later on in the game, will the PA be able to outscale the side of Fnatic with this Sven Timber? You know, the Void Spirit does tend to drop off just a little bit as you approach the late game. It does become a bit more of a utility-based kind of core still.
Spoil that shot.
Gonna run straight past each other.
Yeah, this is part I find annoying about watching. It's that taunt.
Oh, yeah, the other sound to it.
Yeah, that's how it all started. That taunt. You're gonna lose a courier though, just as long as I'm memeing, but...
Jackie's courier does go down to DJ, and that's one of the good things about the Mirana. He doesn't even have leap up yet, but he can just kind of get between those couriers and just take them out.
Yeah, definitely. This is where it gets hard. So Jackie actually lost his matchstick, so Forev can still spam the Timber Chain to keep fucking like he's doing. This is now really hard.
Look at bot lane. The Raven and Jabs up against the LC and Grimstroke. It doesn't seem like he's going to struggle in this lane on the Sven. Like, it might be a little bit annoying up against Masteros, and you could make the argument they can't really kill the LC. But in terms of CS, he should be just fine.
It should go close to even. Legion and Sven, they're going to play the lane very similar, and obviously Grimstroke and Jabs, they're going to brawl. It comes down to whether or not you can get the multiple hero overwhelming or not.
Dire's
this.
turret has been killed.
Yeah, DJ again getting another courier, this time Boombells. And they've just been fighting over these creep waves in this large neutral camp. Forev just not allowing them to take it for free.
I love how Forev's just on full. He's sitting in between. Both heroes just don't care. No worries in the world.
Some way the decay helps you with that, doesn't it? Because you just reactive armor HP regen, you lower your HP pool.
Yeah, and then obviously once decay runs out, it gives you the... So, yeah, you're right. As long as he doesn't get bursted, it's good for him. Top lane though. Oh, Raven, taking a few auto attacks.
He is, he'll be just fine it seems like. Of course, looking at Moon and Phyllis in the middle, and that's been, like you said, just a very, very even lane. They're just CSing pretty much the exact same rate. Forev, top lane, still just going at it with Moonbell and Jackie. They just can't contest the Timbersaw at close quarters. Speaking of that Timber, I mean, I don't really necessarily see a direct counter towards that Timbersaw in this game.
It's pretty much only going to be the soul bomb. Obviously, soul bomb, you can't contain out of it, you get stuck next to your teammate, and more often than not, they just throw the spells at you so they can hit the teammate who's trying to run away from you. But outside of that, yeah, I think Tim's going to have a pretty close to free game. As long as they have movement or, of course, Raven not standing on top of him, those two heroes need a bit more leeway when it comes to fights. It's just a well-rounded tanky draft for Fnatic.
Raven staying by his tier 1 tower, doesn't want to venture too far off. Of course, Jab is pushing the small camps, trying to get that creep equilibrium in their own tier 1 tower. But Q is actually going to have a go with the Ink Swoop onto Jabs. Do they have the damage? It could be enough now. Yeah, Master Rossi is able to get the first blood. Jabs will go down, and Raven, unfortunately, unable to assist.
And Jabs uses South for that.
Oh,
so,
that's unfortunate.
110 gold down the tubes, didn't really get any use out of it, still dies anyway. And first blood right before the bounty runes, and
The prize is mine.
Bombell rather, instantly go and steals a third bounty rune.
3-1 again.
Are scanning.
A nice feeling here. This Dire side. The more gold you can get on this PA, the faster you can get it, the better. I mean, you talked about how he's not really going to be able to burst anyone down once you get it's a late game. But assuming you can get the farm on the PA very, very early on, kind of similar to last game, how we got that 6-minute Midas, if you were that far ahead on the PA, it just won't matter what heroes you play.
That is true, definitely, and you can see he's going that Battle Fury, like you said, he needs farm. And Battle Fury is still the quickest acceleration you can have for a core. Midas is great, but when you have that innate attack speed from Phantom Strike, and obviously the dagger itself can cleave, you definitely go for the Battle Fury if you need to this massive.
EJ, a bit of a rotation into the mid lane. Of course, he has that arrow, but he needs Moon to set up with the Dragon Tail. Fearless does get the 8th Remnant. Arrow flying in. Fearless, he does have to take it. The DJ will leap in with the follow-up damage. It's a great rotation out from this Mirana. Moon just barely able to find the stun in time.
That was pretty much picture perfect. Both the Dragon Tail and then obviously the arrow came through just as he came to from the... A nice little play from Moon, and obviously now that they've got the Cardi wave, they're going to push pretty heavily. There's like some weird skirmishes happening on the side here.
He is. The Grimstroke was trying to go for a bit of an Inkswell play, but won't quite get it off.
Boombell, top lane.
Has been killed.
Be in danger.
Has another chain. He has, yeah, there we go.
Forever will find the kill with the Chakram, and it's the problem with the Undying as well. Like, you tend to have the early game as your strong point. I don't feel like the Undyings really have the greatest early game, though, to really make it so this pick's worth it.
Yeah, definitely not against the Timber. It sounds like good on paper. Oh, I'm going to remove strength from a hero that requires to have a high level of strength, have a high health pool. The problem is, your combo with a hero they couldn't kill. And now Undying's going to look really sad. Boombell has to come bot, tail between his legs, basically, and try to harass him.
Dire's top tower is
Lane.
under attack.
Heroes going there onto Fearless, it seems like, but have some support. Of course, Jackie actually going for a bit of a TP down a bot lane where we do have a duel out on Raven. The Sven going to be alright for now. He's just on the run. Very, very low in HP, and Boombill does give more vision. Masaros chasing. Dagger going to slow down Raven. Do they want to dive the T1? They definitely do. Overwhelming odds will be enough, but now the Fire Blast follow-up from Jabs to allow Moon to at least get some form of a trade. But that's your pos 1 for a pos 5. Not a great feeling for Fnatic.
Not a great show.
Yeah, just died. Moon not respecting the PA, and he might just get punished for it. He does go down. Jab trying to fight back. DJ will TP in, and they'll just leap straight into this team fight. Masaros does go down. That'll be it. Side of the Dire just gonna accept the fact that they got some great trades and just back out of it.
Yeah, that's so heads up. They see the raid boss coming in. Forever, obviously, not at max level, not huge just yet, but you see a Timbersaw, you run. That's just inbuilt in Dota players' brains. Even if he doesn't have stacks, nothing, you just run away.
Just run.
He's TPing in for a reason. He feels that the fight's gone on long enough, the spells are down, and they do get away with a pretty nice trade.
They definitely do.
And it looks like Masaros is actually going to prep for another duel top against Raven. I can see Boombell and obviously Fearless on the side.
Masaros, he does get the duel off, but do they have the damage up? With Fearless, he has a DD active, and they will definitely have the damage for Raven. You just don't care for the duels if you keep killing off this pos 1, but a nice arrow out onto Fearless. Just no damage, no follow-up. He had the Resonant Pulse shield up.
Yeah, and they also use Dragon Form for this. Oh, Jabs.
He's back in on Jabs. Jabs is going to go down to the Resonant Pulse.
Always.
He just built the urn too, so that's some urn charges coming for Fearless. Obviously, urn's pretty useless until you get that full vessel with how tanky these heroes are, but it's something, like they add up.
Fearless is not done. He wants to keep going. They haven't learnt their lesson quite yet. Fearless, he will get stunned up. Arrow going to fly in from DJ, but it's not going to be that long of a stun. Still, they continue to try and just chip away. Fearless dissimulates back for the large cap.
Madman!
He's Fearless, but here come the cavalry. Forever joining in with the rest of his team. Raven going to God Strength up after Boombell. Boombell will drop. Masaros is a very, very fast LC, and like he might be alright, but Forever is still on the chase. I don't believe he caught the glimpse of the LC running to that tree line, and well, they only really lose the Undying.
All I'm hearing in my head is like, Fearless with no regard for his teammates' lives. Because he just straight left Boombell out to dry. He did not care. He's like, yeah, I'm seeing man, you can die for me. Yeah. And just bails out. Obviously it's fine because you got a couple creeps from the big camp. You stole off the DK. But still, man, Boombell has a family somewhere.
He does. Raven and DJ just going to stick around together. Of course, Raven already has been having a difficult start to his game. 2 deaths on the spec. And DJ, the Moonlight Shadow down a bot lane. Oh, look at Jackie, but Arrow always going to be revealed. They know he's there. Q on the chase with Boombell. DJ still has a bit more time on that invis. Silence will be juked out, but now Fearless is around, but he does not connect the 8th Remnant. And DJ, surprisingly enough, gets himself out of there.
And that's huge for DJ. Their wave actually died mostly to the tower, so it's now a safe tower. Unfortunately, Forev's actually down here by himself, so he needs to be careful he doesn't get through.
They're going. Big Swell with the Flesh Golem and the Tombstone. It's going to be a lot of damage flying out. Forev, he cannot sustain it. Masaros with a nice duel just at the last second to get a bit of bonus damage for himself. Fnatic, they're pushing the mid lane. They're trying to get something done. They at least get that.
And they're leading Fearless here to solo defend. And Masaros has just come in. But this is really awkward. He has no mana.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
It'll be enough. Just the presence alone will get Fnatic to just go back to their side of the map, while the rest of the team just push out that bot tier 1 tower. Of course, they were slightly behind with the tier 1s. They did kind of need to take that out because their top tier 1 did go down, but it's gone now. Holy moly! They understand. I mean, Fnatic, they know that they're kind of just stuck fast. They've got no chat. They've got really no options here.
Yeah, I mean, we mentioned, or at least I was talking about the Sven Axe. He's actually rushing it. He's going Echo Saber Axe.
It's the way you play it.
He realizes that sometimes you build a middle item, sometimes you build a Chrysalis, sometimes you build a BKB. He's like, no, I need a stun right now. I need to get in these fights. They're just kiting me around so much. And it's a heads-up play from Raven, but it's going to make these fights really awkward for Motivate.
Going to jump in with a Dragon Tail stun on Fearless. There was no real angle for an arrow there, and looks like DJ wasn't even around. Boombell actually just keeping tabs on where Jabs is on the Ogre.
Trust Q?
Yeah, just really closing in on that mid-tier 1, just remaining around the area, understanding they might find an opening on some Moon on that DK. But so is Raven and Jabs.
Radiant's bottom tower
Ward's
is
placed,
under attack.
Boombell.
Oh, they're gonna find. Oh, that's
Fire
an arrow.
blast, arrow gonna come in with Raven and the God Strength. He tries to burst him down. No, the Soul Rip keeps the ELC alive, and now they try to turn Boombill. He might die, or maybe he doesn't. Another Soul Rip will keep him alive. Moon is trying to move forward with Forev, but can they get anyone? Yoon sticking close. Now they're grouped up. They do go down. Both supports being lost for the side of MG.Trust, but it looks like Jackie might clean up, or maybe he gets cleaned up. He's trying, but he does go down after taking down Raven. Fearless still on the run. Chains there, but Forev is going to have the vision, and of course, they are going to have the damage through Moon. And I believe that's the first good team fight that's happened for Fnatic this game.
Yeah, they've had a lot of scrappy ones where they pick up a 1-for-1 or a 2-for-1 trade, but that's the first clear-cut fight victory for Fnatic, and I think that's the first time they've actually played as fight. Usually they'll have Raven or Forev missing, but they decide they commit everyone, and you can see here on the replay, the stun combination to almost kill Master.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Close. Sorip was pretty clutch from the Undying. Boombill not afraid to give his own life away as long as his cores do survive through all the damage.
It's a shame that you could see they committed so much to keep Legion. They actually ran out of damage to kill them. You can see Moon here so low, Fearless obviously out of mana, out of health, and out of teammates eventually.
With that, Fnatic, they've got a 3k net worth lead. You look at Moon on that DK, he has the blink up. You've got these forms of initiation now. Of course, you look Forev, he's been farming just fine on the Timber. He's ready to fight whenever. And, I believe we might be getting very close to that point where Fnatic will start running at the side of this Trust side.
Yeah, we're only about 2 or 3 minutes off that Death Ball Dota we like to talk about.
Love it.
They might, however, wait for Raven to get his... Won't come until about 18, 19 minutes. He is obviously 3k away from that. But I reckon they could go. They've got Blink, they've obviously got Forev's Yule stepped up. Boombill is playing so aggressively here that I feel like this is the free kill you can take.
Boombill is going to be spotted out by Jabs. Back off out of range of the fire blast. Playing around with Jabs.
Don't go back in, you madman. Oh, I feel like that's the motivate shtick. Like they all just play like absolute insane animals sometimes. They're just like, yeah, you know what? We'll fight here. I don't care.
Way to do it.
And it works.
Forev.
Look at this fight.
Yeah, they're just going to jump in on the tankiest target, Forev. He'll use up through the Inkswell. He just fine to turn back around. Q getting caught with his pants down, and he does die. That was a very interesting sort of initiation to go for. Perhaps just not realizing the Yules was there. And I believe Moon's looking for more.
Yeah, Moon
Dire's
isn't going to find
turret
anyone.
has
Did
been
use the
killed.
blink. But you see what I mean? They just... That's not a good
Dire's
fight, and they're going to
top
take it
tower is
anyway.
under attack.
They even had time to ponder, should we do this?
Jumps in. Sun is there with the arrow follow-up, but do they have the damage? Boombill, he's just on the front line. That is one big flesh golem. Just rushing towards Jabs. We're all Jabs, just taking all this damage now. DJ gonna join in, but there's the duel out from the LC. With the met from DJ, it will not be enough. But here comes Raven, but the Soulbind holding him in with Moon. This is not looking great for Fnatic. They're trying to fight back. Boombill sticking around too long, does go down. Now Q, with this fight, be alright to back off. The rest of Fnatic will do the same.
Oh, these fights are getting really close. They're getting spicy.
They are.
It is still a win, obviously, for Motivate getting that dual damage. It's only 20, but it's something.
Exactly, I mean, still got the Battle Fury up, just farming up and going straight towards that Desolator pickup now. That's kind of what he's going to need here. Just a bit more damage, a bit more minus armor for himself.
And you can see here, they needed that tiny bit more damage on both sides because Masaros is running in the middle of the fight here. You can see Moon and Raven are on half health. Boombill gets 3-shot though.
Yeah,
the poor man. His ultimate ran out and he just didn't have a health pool.
Well, it's a Sven, right? Like, you kind of expect that. If the Sven's red, you probably shouldn't be around the Sven.
If Sven's red, you're dead. I wish I could say I came up with that, buddy.
Oh, DJ. Mirana, looks like he's just rushing the Guardian Greaves. Forev going for a Crimson Guard now on the Timbersaw. So just really wanting to nullify any of the damage the PA is going to be throwing out. And it seems like a smart pickup because there's just so much physical damage.
Yeah, it's also nice for the duel. Like you said, so much physical damage. If you can keep a duel target alive and they get their spell kit off, even if they die afterwards, it's enough to turn that fight.
Woke up. Fnatic gonna rush towards Jackie down that bot lane.
Do they know he's here though?
Jackie's already
They
back
have the vision.
off Moon. No, he knows, and he goes straight onto the PA with the Dragon Tail, and now the arrow landing perfectly from DJ, but the PA is not dead yet. Jackie, press the attack, will keep him alive. Jab's trying to get in there for the Fire Blast, and the Ignite, but now the Jewel comes out. They are using everything to protect this PA, but at what cost? Masaros does go down, and he's on the run, but he's going nowhere. Does get used up.
Not my boy
Dire's
Boom.
bottom tower is
Boombill,
under
he's
attack.
gone, and the PA, I mean, on the brighter side, Jackie does get out of there.
They actually got Raven in the mid lane. Fearless pretty much solo killed him.
Moon gonna try and punish him for this. No arrow gonna be there. Q currently occupying that Mirana. Fearless still in danger. Arrow is actually gonna land just from the behind, and now Q, he wasn't around trying to help out Fearless. He's also gonna pay for this.
Fearless should have had a bit more fear. He should have. He had spells. He had the Simulate up. He had the Pulse up. He had the Astral Step up. He decides to try to bait them all out. Gets caught by an arrow. Oh, the poor kid.
Unfortunate. That gives Fnatic a 6k net worth lead now, going into this game number 3, and 15 to 10 with a 6k net worth lead. They're looking great. I mean, it's that point. We talked about it. They're going to run at them over and over again. And this is that point where you start asking, what does Jackie do? He's not bursting anyone.
Yeah, not much. So he gets that BKB, which is what, 600, 700 gold away. On the other side, though, you've obviously, I don't know if you've noticed, but Raven's 200 gold away from Zags. And Crimson's about 500 gold away as well.
Fearless. Go in onto Jab, and that'll be another nice dual victory. Once that Axe is up on the Sven, I mean, that's it. That's the green light to go.
Or like the golden orb, really. This is every time. I still don't understand why they gave him such a ridiculous. I don't think he needed it.
It is a funny act, the Superman act, but I don't know. He's always had this problem just getting kited around consistently, the Sven, throughout all of history. So I suppose the idea was, let's just give him something to close the gap.
I understand it, but they gave it an auto attack as well. Like when you hit the targets, it auto attacks all of them. It's just like, oh, you've got cleave, plus we'll give you more cleave because you hit them all. Just
Maybe a bit
seems like a
unnecessary.
lot. Yeah.
Maybe a bit too much. There's that BKB for Jackie, by the way. But Moonlight Shadow out from Fnatic. Boombill gonna run straight into them, so they'll just accept the free kill. Does actually have help coming in, but Motivate, getting used up. That's going to be Masteros in the air now with the 8th runner not really latching on apart from DJ. Continuing to chase Masteros, but Masteros is just melting. Now though they jump in, they want to take this team fight. Jackie with the BKB, getting one in the form of Jab, and now also gets Pharrell. He'll chase down Moon on the DK, but he's a much tankier target, and Raven is also around. There's another duel now, but it's not going to be enough to kill off Moon. Masteros, he is very, very low, and there's the Superman flying out from Raven, but now Jackie is going to turn back around. He doesn't care. He wants to go after Raven, and it looks like Raven's accepted the fact that he's probably just dead. He's got nowhere to go.
Massive fight. Obviously, Masteros did buy back for that fight, but definitely worth the dieback, I believe. You've sacked your game basically to enable everyone else on you. And Jackie's BKB coming in pretty clutch there before the Crimson Guard was ready for him.
Tower is under attack.
They'll go after the mid-tier 1 tower now. It'll be a very easy tower to take, and Fnatic.
Radiant's middle
You
tower
kind of
has fallen.
ask yourself, where did they go
Dire's
wrong in that
top
last
tower
team
is
fight?
under
Like,
attack.
Jackie just kind of blinked in, suddenly people were just dying.
I think not registering the fact that BKB was ready.
Right.
So as soon as they commit all their spells, Jackie comes in with the BKB, and we're going to see a replay here.
So they get Boombill very, very easy. And they go after Masaros, and yeah, there's the point where Jackie just kind of jumps in, starts shredding people apart. Jabs and Pharrell both go down, and they tried to fight back Raven.
I think they got lucky here. I think Moon could have died if
Dire
Jackie
are
jumped on him.
scanning.
Doesn't though. That Fnatic, they're not done though. They're going to smoke up again. They're going to try a second time. See if this time it'll be any different.
They might find Jackie on the front line though, because they're smoking as well, and obviously when you have the blur, you do front line quite often. So it'll be interesting to see who blinks on who first. And Motivate, they're going top. They might just dodge out the smoke gank entirely.
Smoke themselves here.
They're also close to 20. This is one of those games where I actually question if you go evasion or armor. Usually evasion is the better talent.
Radiant's
The armor
bottom
corruption,
tower is under
they
attack.
don't really have that much damage if they don't get the burst down. I'm curious to see what it does. I'm going to need a 10k player to tell me what to do here.
All right. Got the Deso up. Just one he already had that.
No, he had the Blightstone and then went back for big.
Right. All right, so the whole time he was fighting without Deso anyway. Double damage is there. Dealer's just going to jump in and protect that DD route as Jackie is making his way to it.
This is probably a Roshan now.
Straight for the Roche. Jabs, of course, has buyback available, but even if you were to commit that buyback, can you fight into a DDPA with a brand new Deso up?
You have to burst, but you saw that they were throwing the arrow there for both scouting vision and to see if they could get Jackie. But the problem is if you don't get Maxwell, he presses the attack and resets the fight, and all of a sudden you have an attack speed machine on the PA.
Dire's middle tower
And you can't
is
deal
under
with it.
attack.
The BKB just pretty much negates all of Fnatic's damage right now because Sven just doesn't have that much damage yet.
By the way, you were right. He does... No, you weren't right. In fact, he does go for the evasion talent.
Okay, I'm quite happy with this.
Yeah.
Evasion is the normal go. I was just curious. Obviously, evasion's going to be Sven. Very good against DK.
The prize is mine.
It's something against Mirana.
Yeah.
But so I don't know, this armor corruption talent, it feels like it's been left on the wayside, and I'm kind of curious what it needs to get that little back
Radiant's
into
top
meta.
tower
Maybe
is
just a
under
high
attack.
number.
You do 7 or something.
Yeah,
nerfing it,
top tower.
nerfing it,
It was
nerfing it.
ridiculous. It was quite a talent to have.
Dire's
They're going to go after that top tier 2 tower. Fnatic going to just focus down the bottom towers. Both teams comfortable with the trade.
Forever though in the mid lane.
Getting Yule's done, Fearless. Gonna have the aim to lock him in, and they'll have the jewel from Mazeros if they want to commit. No, Yule's is out now from the timber. Forever still trying to survive, does actually survive. But the Undying is still there. There's the jewel coming out now. A double. And with that, they want to chase for more. They've already got 2 down. DJ on the run with Moon. They'll go after the Mirana with the ink spot on Fearless. With that silence, DJ cannot leap out of there.
This is looking really awkward for Fnatic. This is legitimately a window where you could lose your rack. You've got no buyback on the Timber, no buyback on Mirana. They're both in the grave for quite some time,
Radiant's
so
middle tower has
DJ
fallen.
and Forever, they're going to be watching from the sideline as Jackie just rips apart their build.
Radiant's middle tower
Go,
is under
tier 3
attack.
under siege, 26 minutes in. They've also got a siege creep to help out, which is always nice.
Dire's tower is under attack.
We've got a siege creep, and obviously Mazeros is just standing behind him, removing the breach fire.
Radiant's middle tower.
Oh, it's the little things in life.
It is the little thing. Jackie just, mid-rats. There's no defense coming out yet. They're waiting for the respawns of these supports.
Oh my god, Jabs needs to be
Dire's
careful.
bottom tower
That's a lot
is
of
under
damage
attack.
coming up from Jackie.
Jabs that fire? Okay.
They want to defend that melee barracks, and they do, but the Dragon Tail is there from Moon to get started.
They got to be careful though, because another item's coming in, I believe it was a Basher. Yes, it's Basher and Jackie now. They will see it, so they need to be careful this fight, but
Back in. Fearless, Forever, just going up to them, throwing out that whirling death. Forever keeps going. Boombell, he's about to die, but he gets the Soul Reef off. And now the Dragon Tail's there, but the Soul Vine is out from Q. Raven pops the God Strength, wants to go after Mazeros. No, he might turn around onto the Void Spirit, but Fearless is out of there. Meanwhile, Jackie just going back in on top of his Sven, and Raven is very, very low, but he does get Fearless. Still, he may lose his own life. Raven's so down low, but Jackie, he needs one more hit and he can't get it. He cannot get it. Jackie will go after DJ. He'll lose the Aegis.
that was close to the game right there. I think if they actually take down the Sven, if Raven dies there, he had no buyout. That's definitely a Rax, and they committed everything. Like, that was a BKB purchase as well for him. Oh, that was close.
3 buybacks on MG.Trust.
I think if they don't buy back Jackie dies twice, though, like that was the mentality. Like, do we save our PA, who is everything right now?
Rev, pretty low, gets used up midway through the chain. Boombell just gonna get on top of that timber.
Boombell with an item I haven't seen much at all. He's built a Holy Lock.
Oh. I mean, you can use the charges on your teammates.
Yeah, it's effectively, he's got 2 soul rips right now, because he can use the wand, the Holy Locket charges, I should say. What is it called? Energy charge?
Energy
I've
charge.
never read that in my life.
Very original.
Oh, yeah.
Radiant's
Since the
top
release of
tower
this
is
item, it's
under
been
attack.
completely lackluster. So I'm curious to see if they can make it work.
I mean, you've got the Soul Rip plus the Holy Locket now, so it is a lot of burst heal. Not to mention, it does amp up the heal of the
Yeah,
Soul Rip.
35%, which
Yeah.
is pretty solid.
I'd say so.
Like, I just have literally no opinion on it, because I have no idea. I've never seen it in a pro game.
I think that's with everyone, though.
Like,
Like,
outside of IO. IO doesn't really count.
of course.
Cheat code.
Yeah. Well, they're just going to stick together, both teams. Obviously, we're at that stage of the game now where every team fight should be just about a 5v5. Neither side really wanting to give any free kills away, especially considering we are low on buybacks at the moment.
Yeah. Oh, let's see. Have a. Oh yeah, we are very low on buybacks. Only 1 player has them, and that's the Legion Commander. Oh boy.
Boombell. Rev in the Moonlight Shadow. They know where MG.Trust are.
It'd be curious to see what happens at level 25 as well for Jackie. Because if he starts to get these, he could chunk down these tank heroes. I'm not sure if you want to wait for that, and clearly they don't. They're smoking up to find something. Oh, and a nice little item for him. Titan Sliver as well.
The better one. Jackie. Thank you very much for that.
I mean, it's only really second to Paladin Sword when it comes to a core that has lifesteal naturally and just wants to take up in these fights. It's Paladin Sword, Titan Sliver, and then obviously you get the Illusionist Cape or something.
Yeah, well.
I will never not harp on that goddamn item.
Raven. And Forev gonna push out the bot tier 2, and the top tier 2, of course, gonna be removed by MG.Trust.
Under attack. Radiant's top tower has
Even trade between the two, and are we waiting for the next Roshan now? Like,
Oh, they're actually going to find Forev. That's what we're waiting for.
yeah, Forev getting caught out by the Aether Remnant. Jewel not actually being there from Masaros yet, but he's really done fast with that 4-star.
Masaros.
Couldn't quite get the Jewel off in time. He's still making the chase, but Forev is just fine. The rest of Fnatic, they smoke up.
I believe Fnatic 3 smoked. They're going to look towards top lane, but I don't know what they're going to find here. Clearly, they saw Motivate TP'd almost everyone, so they might find Fearless here. Fearless
Massive pick off, Dissimulate, going to be out in time with the Astral Step. Just fine, but Forev goes in and does get Boombell with the Yule. Still Boombell happy to fight back. He already has the Tombstone down.
With a gem too now. I don't know if Boombell is the one to hold it. He has died 8 times. Yeah, okay, he gives the red Fearless.
Oh my.
I just saw him have that. I'm like, oh bear, that's definitely going to Fnatic.
Still, 21-19, 3k net worth lead. Another very, very even game between these two. MG.Trust. I mean, you can see how aggressive they want to get. They just want to make the jump on somebody. Jackie, quite find a target.
Fnatic coming through. He's definitely going to buy. I can see he's curious, just sitting on the secret shop waiting for this Satanic gold. I think that's go time for them. I'll look for the tier 2 bot. With the Satanic, he'll have what, 2600, 2700 health? And obviously the Sliver as well with the status resist. It's going to be quite hard to take down Jackie.
I imagine it will be. Jackie does go ahead, takes down the bot tier 2, and you can see Fnatic up towards that top lane, trying to establish that top tier 2 tower themselves. Left it be for now, they just let the creep wave take care of it. And that Satanic you brought up on the PA is also up and running now.
Oh, and it's a long Roche. I think that's actually bad for Motivate. They quite easily control the map right now. So they
jump in, Jackie going after DJ. Ain't no lucky crits. Forev gonna get the Yules off. Arrow Not going to connect.
I don't know if you want to fight that though, because Masaros obviously just the attack and he turns around and tries to kill you again.
That is true.
Oh. This game is on its knife edge, right? I'm hesitant to say who wins it from here.
Oh, you can't. It's just too close.
This is what we want though. We wanted close games. One team has shown up, or one series has shown up rather.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad it was the second.
Absolutely. There is an MKB, by the way, flying out on Raven.
Ooh, okay.
Just trying to have a way to actually hit Jackie. Should have it up very, very soon, I believe, on that step.
He still needs to be careful though, because he can get jumped on quite
Jackie has started. Makes the jump onto Moon, but he's just way too tanky. So instead, Perez just tries to go in and on the PA, but Jams is already gone, and Jackie just keeps going on the spin. Raven, got nowhere to go. Raven getting jeweled up. That is a lot of cleave damage, but it is not enough. Now Moon just jump back in with Perez. They're trying to clean up the side of MG.Trust, but it is no good. Perez also going to go down. They only really got Boombill on the Undying. Moon, this BKB, it is going to wear off, and Jackie able to get another kill, and there are no buybacks.
Yep, I was just about to say, the only one with buyback is still alive.
Uh-oh.
Oh boy. I actually can't believe Sven almost turned around and killed the entire enemy team off a duel. I'd be livid if that happened to me. But Jackie has faith in the boys. Boombell once again in the grave watching his team push.
He falls under siege. Jackie wants to just get this game over and done with.
It is quite hard though with the Bloodlust. Like we mentioned in the first series, Bloodlust is still broken. It gives double the attack speed on towers. Don't ask me why. I have no idea.
Just keep going. Instead of going after those tier 4s, or just secure another rat. On the bot lane, does go down. It's the question of whether you want to try and risk going. Oh, they got Farev with the Yules, and now the jewel is there with the follow-up from Jackie. And Farev is actually not dead yet, but does eventually go down to Q. And that might just be Mega.
Fnatic are actually about to get upset. And not only is it like, oh, it's an upset during the middle of the middle of the group stage. They were testing something. No, this is round one, game one for them. You're meant to come in with a bang with your new carry, and you're on the back foot quite heavily now. Roshan is up as well, and without Forev, I don't know how you fight this Roshan pit.
Gonna have to try. With the Aegis just going the way of MG.Trust, how do you defend your high ground after that?
They got to be careful though. So the Abyssal got purchased up by and they haven't seen it yet. So if they come in and try to take a fight, he could actually just one-shot or two-shot one of these guys.
Look at these crits coming out from Jackie. Just casual 1.8k crit. The
Jackie with the level 25 hasn't leveled yet. Oh, he goes to triple dagger.
it's still a great talent, I guess. It's just, you know, you'd love to see the extra critical.
Well, it makes sense, right? Because if you have the triple dagger and you get lucky on 2, all of a sudden can't play
Radiant's
Jab,
top tower
can't play DJ. They've lost half their health pool in the back line to a stray dagger. And obviously with the cleave in these fights, you can actually just cleave from all 3 daggers.
Jackie. He just jumps to press the attack, but Jab's had a Ghost Scepter, and in fact they're going back in onto this PA.
He does have a BKB, but I don't think it matters because he has 40% stats.
Yeah.
And Masaros just removing everything. Megas.
That is Mega Creep.
Oh boy, here we go. This is going to be spicy. Can Raven buy another Rapier is the question.
Well, I mean, at this point, you might want to. I was about to bring that up, actually, going for the MKB rather than the straight Divine. Surprised me just a little bit considering how game 2 went, but I guess at that point where he got the MKB up, he hadn't lost a rat yet.
The game was still like, what, 4k net worth max?
Yeah, it's pretty close.
Like, quite even. So the MKB made sense, but losing that team fight with no buyouts after the MKB purchase, and it really just doesn't look great from here. They lost everything, like you said, mega creeps, and now you can just drown them out, get the tier 4 items, and then fight again before they get theirs.
They're waiting. Just waiting for that right moment. I want to step off the high ground.
Ooh. They have a Princess Knife, so they've still got 3 more OP.
They jump in. They got there. It is going to be a duel out onto the DK Moon.
Buyout though.
And the buyback. Will have to commit. They are looking towards those tier 4 towers. smoke for Ogun. There goes Raven. There's the flyback. They'll go after Verbill. They'll get the Undying. Now stun up onto the PA. Jackie is falling low, but he does manage to blink strike out of there. The chain forward with the stun. Jackie very, very low.
He's Satanic in the first line.
And the Satanic's not really going to work out. The Aegis does its fine, but the fight continues. They want to go after this PA one more time. Raven trying to hit away. Jackie will pop the BKB, and now with that life steal, he is fighting back. Raven is in huge trouble, and it looks like he is about to fall though. No, the Imp is keeping him alive. Will turn around onto somebody else, and it will be Jabs on the Ogre going down. Still the fight continues, however, Moon is not giving up yet. He still wants Jackie. However, for him, he's going to fall on the Timber, and they called it. GG is the call from Fnatic.
An upset game, a Series 2, first day in. You can't ask so much more if you're a fan of Dota, honestly, because Motivate just said we're here to stay, and it's now a top 3 battle for Group A.
Fantastic showing here from Motivate Trust Gaming. I wouldn't have expected it. I thought Fnatic would have been the favorites by a long mile, but